I was with a different side of the family last year.
Oh,
The
oh,
dark side. Dun dun dun.
the black sheep.
Dark
Okay.
side. So I mean, but it was right. I mean, it was raw. People were physically they looked agitated because they knew that you were a Republican and they didn't like being around you.
It's
I mean, think what
different.
happened to me. I got blackballed by, invitations that I used to get to events just didn't come through. I didn't
Well,
get
yeah,
them in
but
the
this
mail
is
anymore.
but this is we're talking about
But
family
I
here.
know.
We're talking
Well,
family. Were you forced to sit at the kids' table, or were you otherwise
yeah,
blackballed from Thanksgiving
the
with
kiddie
your
table.
family?
No, we just made an effort not to discuss politics, and it was really hard not to discuss it. It's like the pink elephant in the room, and no one's acknowledging it. Did you guys talk about politics last year?
Normally, what I do is I provide some prepared remarks, and
During the prayer,
no, after the prayer,
Yes.
obviously we do the pledge, national anthem, prayer, and then I provide some prepared remarks, and I'll take 5 to 10 minutes of questions, and then we sit down and eat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's normally how it goes.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
Now, an interesting piece by this guy, Ken Stern. Remember, Ken Stern is this former NPR executive who spent a year traveling throughout Red America. He had an op-ed in the New York Post we talked about a few weeks ago, and the scales fell from his eyes in terms of most of the Trump voters he encountered, as opposed to the caricature that is that portrays them on outlets like NPR. He suggests that Americans aren't as divided as you think from his experience of traveling for a year throughout Red America. Here's something to talk about your Thanksgiving dinner table. None of this is true, talking about the division. And, everybody hates everybody. If you disagree, that you have to hate the person. None of this is true. I'm a lifelong Democrat and have a resume that practically bleeds blue. A couple turns in Democrat politics, a decade running NPR, degrees from Yale Law and Haverford College. But last year, spurred by a fear that Red and Blue America were drifting irrevocably apart, I decided to venture out from my overwhelmingly Democrat neighborhood and safely Democrat life and engage Republicans where they live, work, and pray. I found an America far different from the one depicted in the press and imagined for us by politicians. He does say we loathe the other side far more than we used to. Politically mixed. It's not racial. It's not religious. Politically. The odd thing, though, is that while we are far more politically polarized, we are not more issue polarized than in the past. It's counterintuitive in this age of anger, but on issues, we tend to be fairly agreeable and moderate people. And he cites some Stanford political science study on this. Yeah, but I think there are real divisions on you. I think if you just pick out a particular issue and you try and get where center mass is on it, you're missing the forest for the trees. Because it's not, it's an interesting piece he writes, and I appreciate what he's attempting to do and his perspective on it. But it's the overall kind of way of life, trajectory of this country, values that are reflected across the board, who is ridiculed and who is not, and the sources of that ridicule, the faith in civic institutions that are the foundations of a free society, and how much trust has declined in those institutions. Those are the big issues, and that's where the big divisions come in. It's not so much like people are, debating corporate tax policy, and that's the source of the real heat. That's not the source of the heat. The source of the heat is cultural, and politics is a poor part of that. Right?
And a lot of people couldn't process the fact that President Trump, who bragged about groping women's, we became president of the United States.
Yeah, but
at that point in time, it was so raw and so new that it was uncomfortable Thanksgivings.
Yeah, but that's
or an uncomfortable Thanksgiving situation.
That's symptomatic. That's a symptom. It's not the fundamental issue. And people wanted to say, like, oh, it's just about Trump. Discard Trump, and then let's get to the foundation of the issue here. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're just using that as kind of a cheap cover story for a real difference of opinion, or maybe not. Maybe it's a misunderstanding, their own misunderstanding of their own positions, the implications of the positions. But it's a values discussion. It's a character discussion. It's a discussion about first principles in a free society. That's what this is about. Like, batting Trump back and forth is so beside the point. And it's just a cheap way for people to occupy moral high ground or in their own minds that they actually don't occupy. Bob and Waukegan, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, we're going to my son's place down in Chicago. That he sent us a text about a week and a half ago saying that these are the ground rules. He goes, there will be no talking about politics.
Awesome.
And then the only time we're going to have the television on, the only time the television can be on is if the kids, my grandkids, want to watch something on TV. So not only am I not going to be able to speak, I'm not going to be able to divert myself by watching the football game. So it's going to be like being in a Soviet gulag.
Why don't you tell Bob? Why don't you tell your son that he's not the boss of you? You brought him into this world, and you can take him out. Yeah.
Well, my son is far larger than I am, and at this point in my life, he could take me out.
Yeah, no, but if you're going to someone's house, you have to obey by their rules. I think so.
I don't mind at all. I'm gonna get a Thanksgiving Day card, and I'm gonna put in there, thanks for inviting us. And when you come to my house, you can talk about anything, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
Because we believe in freedom of speech, and then just go with it. So
there you go.
It's not a big deal. We got it worked out, but we have an understanding that we, the conservative part of the family, are actually rational. But you can't talk about politics because Donald Trump causes everybody in the room on the left go into hysterics. So they're the emotional part of the equation, and that's why they don't want to talk about it, because it makes them emotional.
Well, Bob, have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, good luck at...
get in there, eat, and get out.
Good luck at Gulag, Chicago. I appreciate it.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Looking to secure financing on a new home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Stephanie, account manager, contacted her credit union to get pre-qualified for a mortgage. Bad move. The credit union's alleged mortgage expert informed Stephanie she couldn't purchase a home without a cosigner. Wrong. Stephanie's grandfather would cosign, but she wanted to do it herself. After hearing hundreds of our ads, Stephanie called for a free consultation. An experienced Team Hochberg mortgage professional answered Stephanie's questions and helped her secure a mortgage without a cosigner. Let's review. The inexperienced mortgage professional at Stephanie's credit union stated she needed a cosigner to purchase a home, and Team Hochberg secured her a mortgage without a cosigner. When securing a mortgage, you could either get terrible advice at your credit union, or you could call Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Pain drugs are addictive and have side effects. Get off the drugs, get rid of the pain. You don't need to live with chronic pain. Let's repeat, you do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, from an accident or pain that just develops. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the most respected and successful pain doctors in the world. Dr. Candido will work to find the source of your chronic pain and fix it. He teaches pain management around the world and has been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Okay, you get it. He's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido, Chicago anesthesia and pain specialist, will help you get off the pain medication and all of its side effects. You can get your life back. Drugs mask the pain, find the source, and fix it. Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain. You be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info at mypainchicago.com.
Simplify your vacation planning during Apple Vacation Super Sale. The best selection of hotels and flights are available now. Modern luxury and a laid-back vibe combine to make Ixtapa Zihuatanejo a Pacific gem. Discover an ideal climate and 16 miles of golden sand beaches. 7 nights at Sunscape Dorado Pacifico Ixtapa start from only $11.49. Or make it a week at Barcelo Ixtapa starting from just $13.49. It's all included. Non-stop round-trip air, resort transfers, all meals, drinks, and taxes. Call Carey Travel Express at 847-639-3300 to book your trip today. Or visit CareyTravelExpress.com. Ixtapa Zihuatanejo. One trip, 2 paradises. Mexico, a world of its own. Prices per person based on double occupancy for select exclusive vacation flights from O'Hare to Ixtapa on Volaris starting January 6th and include taxes and fees including September 11th security fee. Some flights are operated by other airlines. Baggage charges apply. See applevacations.com. Prices subject to availability and change. Restrictions apply.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan, and Chicago Tribune columnist John Cass in for Amy this morning. And did you have a good Veterans Day, John?
Yes.
Happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans. Post today, President Trump in France, marking the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. He giving a speech at Suresnes. And this is what the president had to say about America's warriors.
Each of these marble crosses and stars of David marks the life of an American warrior. Great, great warriors they are, who gave everything for family, country, God, and freedom. Through rain, hail, snow, mud, poisonous gas, bullets, and mortar, they held the line and pushed onward to victory.
And at more unified times, the president remarking about Americans and French soldiers who fought and died in the name of liberty.
The American and French patriots of World War I embody the timeless virtues of our two republics: honor and courage, strength and valor, love and loyalty, grace and glory. It is our duty to preserve the civilization they defended and to protect the peace they so nobly gave their lives to secure 1 century ago.
Also, the 80th anniversary of Kristallnacht over the weekend. And it's just interesting to hear the president's remarks marking Veterans Day, marking the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I, and how little coverage that gets. How little conversation it begets as compared to, Emmanuel Macron railing against nationalism and all of the interpretations of him taking a swipe at Trump.
Yeah, Macron talked about nationalism and said that countries should not put the interests of their nations over that of others. And when I heard it and read it, those words, I thought, what a bleeping lie. It's just noise of children. All nations put their interests over that of other nations. And for our media to parrot it as if it's virtue tells me a lot about our country.
And thank God we did. Marking up on the Veterans Day and all of those who served and died for our country in addition. We were fighting existential enemies,
real ones,
right? To people's existence, including our own.
Right.
Right. You take that.
Not whether Obama's legacy would be rewritten.
Yeah.
A real existential enemy.
Right. Take that sentimental pablum and apply it in the context of what, Nazi Germany? We don't put our interests ahead of the Nazis, really. But of course, the application is always wanting. A happy, touching story, really, on Veterans Day. This, the story of the son of Army First Lieutenant Jonathan Rogier. Did you see this?
Yeah, the car. Oh man. 2003,
he died for our country. He left behind a wife and his 8-month-old son, Justin, at the time. In order to make ends meet, Mom had to sell a lot of their possessions, including this car that Jonathan Rogier had, and they're a nonprofit that serves military families did something special on this Veterans Day for now 15-year-old Justin Rogier.
Kyle drove the car from Utah to surprise Justin for his 15th birthday. I can't tell you what this meant to Justin. I really can't. He tried to explain it to me, but when he opened his mouth, no words fell out.
It's a link to the past for him. It's a big thing for me, too. I never got to see him come home. So that just one moment right there was, I think I needed that.
Obviously, this was never about a car. No, this was about trying to push past what you can't forget. Trying to remember what you never knew. And on this most American holiday weekend, it's about appreciating all the layers of sacrifice.
I'm so glad we could do this for you.
And they found the actual car, and then this nonprofit that serves military families tricked it out, and as you heard, drove it from Utah to present to
I would have much rather it would have been great if he had driven a Corvette Stingray or a Chevelle 396, but he was a lieutenant in the Army,
and he brought his dad's car back to the kid, which is the important thing, not the quality of the car, who it belonged to. All right, coming up at 5:38, 2000 Redux down in Broward County, Florida. We'll discuss, but now we check the headlines with Mike Scott.
31 degrees, skies are fair. We're tracking a Northern California wildfire that's destroyed a town and is now the deadliest in state history.
Our acreage is still at 83,275. There might be a few more acres than I mentioned this morning, but most of the flares were within the footprint of the fire. Right now, we're still going with 10% containment.
Authorities said last night the Camp Fire north of Sacramento has killed 29, matching the 1933 Griffith Park fire in Los Angeles.
Those remains recovered today were located in Paradise. 5 of them were in homes. 1 was in a vehicle.
It essentially wiped out the town of Paradise, home to 30,000. Governor Jerry Brown says California will continue to burn.
This is not the new normal. This is the new abnormal. And this new abnormal will continue, certainly in the next 10 to 15 to 20 years.
Over 220 people are unaccounted for. In Florida this morning, Republican Governor Rick Scott accuses his Senate challenger, Democrat Bill Nelson, of fraud.
His lawyer said that a non-citizen should vote. He's gone to trial and said that fraudulent ballots should be counted. Ballots have already been thrown out because they were not done properly. He said those should be counted.
Scott telling Fox News that Nelson is a sore loser. Meantime, Colorado Senator Cory Gardner says there's clear evidence the Constitution may have been violated in last week's Florida elections. 2 U.S. Navy aviators are safe. Their fighter jet crashed today in the Philippine Sea near Okinawa. Senator Chuck Schumer says the appointment of Matthew Whitaker as acting attorney general should concern many.
He's already prejudged the Mueller situation. If he stays there, he will create a constitutional crisis by inhibiting Mueller or firing Mueller. So Congress has to act.
Senator Lindsey Graham doesn't believe the acting attorney general should recuse himself from the Mueller investigation.
I am confident the Mueller investigation will be allowed to come to a good, solid conclusion.
The South Carolina lawmaker on CBS's Face the Nation. Other stories we're tracking this morning. An investigation is underway after a security guard was shot and killed by a Midlothian police officer at a bar in Robbins. It happened early yesterday. No one in custody after 2 men were wounded in a shooting inside of a fast food restaurant on Chicago's South Side overnight. Chicago sports found the Bears over the Lions 34-22 at Soldier Field. The Blackhawks look to end a 7-game losing skid when they play the Hurricanes in Carolina tonight. Bulls hosting the Mavericks. The news is a service of AccuCheck Guide. Are prices a mystery when you buy your diabetes test strips? Skip the guessing game. Sign up for the AccuCheck Guide Simple Pay program at simplepaysaves.com, where you'll know you're paying the same low price on quality test strips every time. Exclusions apply. Visit simplepaysaves.com. 5:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher explains the consequences of elections.
Millions and millions of Americans voted for President Trump because of the gamble that he would fulfill his promise and appoint conservatives to the judiciary. With the Senate firmly controlled by the Republicans, that continues. We're going to continue to see conservative upon conservative appointed to the federal judiciary. And that's going to affect our grandchildren.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, fall is here, and so are those weekend cleanup projects. Hey, Sean Hannity here to tell you that getting organized is simple and easy with Store Lock Modular Systems, the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. They're durable, store-lock modular systems. They're built the old-fashioned way, made to order, exactly how you want it, and they're 100% crafted in the USA. And these storage systems have dividers, liners, layouts. All are made with quality materials, including steel ball bearings and heat-treated steel rollers. Store-lock is so strong that each drawer holds up to 400 pounds. Your custom system is powder-coated in-house in any color that you want, plus it's fully assembled when it ships, so you can get organized really fast. Store-lock fits any home or business, will last a lifetime with its 55-year top-to-bottom warranty. All you have to do is order today and receive your system in about 4 weeks. Call now at 1-800-STOR-LOC. That's Store-Lock, 1-800-STORE-LOCK. And check out StoreLock.com for upcoming events.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours right into your basement. This is Gus from Chicagoland Waterproofing. My mission is to identify why your home is taking on water and fix it. I want you to sleep at night during a rainstorm and not worry about your basement filling up with water. Like our client Kim from Mount Prospect.
We had chronic basement flooding and no one could figure out why. During a huge storm, water was pouring in through the window wells of our finished basement and we had to bail out 6 inches of water. We got a bunch of estimates, but Gus's was the most reasonable, plus he knew exactly what the problem was. He put in a full basement drain tile system and an additional sub pump with a backup battery. Chicagoland Waterproofing gave us peace of mind. I like to say, in Gus we trust.
From simple sump pumps to complex storm drainage and crack foundation solutions, Chicagoland Waterproofing's work comes with a lifetime warranty. Plus, a fully licensed plumber is always on staff. Request your estimate today at ChicagolandWaterproofingPros.com or call 847-296-3500.
My number 2 does not look like a number 2. I don't know what to call it. Is there a number 3?
Table for 4, please. Anything close to the restroom.
A middle seat with these stomach problems? That's my fear of flying.
Sound like you? If it does, you could be one of the many people with a digestive condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms: frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain. If you have even just one of these symptoms, you could still have EPI, because not everybody experiences EPI the same way, which is why it's so important to open up to your doctor about all your symptoms. And the good news is, EPI is manageable, so don't keep a lid on it. Go to identifyepi.com, complete the symptom checker, and use it to have a conversation with your doctor. Don't keep a lid on it. Visit identifyepi.com. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Check out the newest podcast from the Associated Press, Ground Game, hosted by AP's Meghan Crane. A weekly conversation about top political issues around the midterm elections. Available on Apple Podcasts.
5:39, a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Traffic is lighter than usual on the expressways and tollways. We're not seeing any significant delays at the moment. This is Veterans Day 2018. You have a crash reported on the southwest side. This is at 62nd and California. Joliet, Brandon Bridge over the Des Plaines River is closed still. It was supposed to reopen Saturday, but now that closure of Brandon Road is scheduled until Tuesday. In Naperville and Plainfield, starting today, rail crossing work scheduled to close Wolf's Crossing, both directions, Normantown, Plow Creek Road. Closure is scheduled until 6 o'clock tonight. Elsewhere this morning, things are looking good on area roadways and on the rails. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Cloudy, cold, 35 today. 30 at O'Hare, 27 this morning in Aurora. And your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan, and in for Amy J this morning, Chicago Tribune columnist John Cass. Want to get to the goings-on in Florida with the recount redux, but a couple calls just from our discussion prior to the news about Veterans Day, Trump's remarks at Suren Cemetery, as well as this touching story about this young man who got his father's car returned to him and souped up some 15 years after his father died for our country. Nice story. Dick in Logan Square, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, hey, good morning, Dan. It just makes me sick to my stomach when once again I hear these liberals or lefties that don't understand history. Time and time again, our country and the wars we have been involved in have been to rid the world of evil and tyrannical governments. It hasn't always been a selfish thing for us, and it probably never will be.
Indeed.
It just makes me kind of sick.
Indeed. Thanks for the call, Dick. Appreciate that. Ed in Oak Brook.
You know what? John made it perfectly clear to me what this French president was talking about. And basically what he's saying is all you Trumps in America keep paying for world peace or whatever, save the planet and all of that crap. As long as it's your money, yeah, you're wrong to have a national mindset. In other words, they want the U.S. to fund the world. Where does French fund anything other than their own special interest for their particular industries and so forth? What a bunch of crap. And carry on.
Thanks for the call,
I
Ed.
like the French, Dan. I do. I love their food, their culture.
Sure. I'm a bit of an existentialist myself, so I appreciate Jean-Paul Sartre.
And I appreciate much of France. But what I don't like is...
How do you like this music? Can
love
you feel
this
yourself
music.
sitting at a French cafe with a beret on?
And a Gaulois in my hand and a brandy and soda waiting for Chesterton to walk past.
There was Jefferson
call
in
him
Paris.
The most evil man.
Jefferson in Paris, John
There you
Cass in
go.
Paris. You need a Paris period in your
But here's
career.
the thing.
Yeah.
Spare me the lectures about national self-interest, okay? France, Iraq, the Middle East, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It's not that we shouldn't go and fight the evil opponent of all, but every nation looks for itself. Every family looks for itself. That's how human beings are. So cut the crap, basically.
I mean, the French are pretenders a lot. I mean, they really didn't even invent the croissant.
They invented triple cream brie. They invented the French cooking that my friend Carrie Nahabadian provides at Brondil.
Oh.
Yeah, it is one of the best restaurants. I had
Okay,
the best
Fraser
meal.
Crane. Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. Sommelier Niles. I didn't play the sommelier. I just said pick a wine. It's the best meal I ever had in my life. You ever eat there?
No, I've not.
Brondil?
I mean, I just don't run in those circles.
Yeah, right. You're with me.
I have eaten at
You're
French-
with me having bacon buns in the parking lot at Racine Bakery, right?
I have eaten at French Laundry in Napa. I like to, have a.
What does she wear?
Have a fall sojourn there.
Right.
Yes. All right. Switching gears. I think if we wait about another 5 minutes, both Andrew Gillum and Bill Nelson will be declared the winners in Florida. Brenda Snipes, the supervisor of elections in Broward County, Florida, is still hard at work, I'm sure. It's just a little background on her, since she's been, and Broward County has been the center of attention for the last, almost a week now. She's been in the position since 2003, in which year her predecessor, a woman named Miriam Oliphant, was suspended for grave neglect, mismanagement, and incompetence, literally marched out of the office, as a National Review recounts. Also, on Friday, a court in Broward County found Snipes was guilty of violating both Florida's public records laws and the state's constitution by failing to provide mandatory updates to the public, and it ordered the immediate release of the missing information. Things like an election worker finding bags of uncounted early ballots in the Broward County office, the chain of custody of which could not be established, made the court a little jumpy.
What are these? Oh, I found them. They're votes.
Happy day. Snipes has been reprimanded by the courts twice, once in May for illegally destroying ballots during the 2016 Democrat primary in violation of both state and federal law. Thankfully, that didn't disqualify her from continuing in her position, much less jeopardize her freedom. And again in August for illegally opening mail-in ballots in secret. So in some respects, you get outraged about Brenda Snipes and what's going on in Broward County, and in another respect, you ask yourself, where has Rick Scott been for the last 8 years? Why is she still the top election administrator in Broward County? When you get these sort of entertaining interactions from Snipes with the D.C. press corps, Brenda Snipes responding by not responding to questions from the Miami press corps.
Dr. Snipes, it is now Thursday. We are still counting ballots in Broward County.
5 pages or 6 pages for each of the people who voted.
But other counties have been able to do it.
But other counties didn't have 600,000 votes out there.
Well, Miami-Dade did.
Well, have you been inside Miami? Never mind. Let me go check. I'll check.
But it's a serious issue. It always seems like
a serious issue with me. I've been doing this now since October 22nd.
But if it's a serious issue with you...
We ran 22 sites. We ran 14 days. We ran 12 hours. We had a big vote by mail. So don't try to turn it around to make it seem like I'm making comedy out of this.
I don't think anybody's making. But the question... But there are serious questions. Why is she done for the moment? We'd like to know how many votes are outstanding.
As soon as she finds out how many votes Gillum and Nelson need, you'll find out how many votes are outstanding. By the way, Snipes said in that exchange, 600,000 votes cast, right? That's what she said on Tuesday night, 634,000 votes. Thursday night, it was 712,000 votes.
So she's Johnny Rocco. Johnny Rocco from Key Largo. Remember Edward G. Robinson?
I wanted you to hear you do your Edward G.
You
Robinson.
dish out a lot of groceries and coal. Get my boys to bring out the voters and count the votes again and again and again. And like that. That's Johnny Rocco. That's what they're doing. They find votes. We found some votes. The teacher found votes in the school. Oh, there's votes here. Let's count them. Come on, man. And then when people question, then, of course, you're racist if you question.
Sure.
This is just pathetic but typical.
But from Tuesday to Friday last week, Rick Scott's lead in the Senate race dwindled from 57,000 to 15,000. I think it's down under 13,000 now. DeSantis' lead over Gillum for the governor's race declined from 75,000 to about 36,000. Again, Broward County disregarded Florida law requiring all vote by mail and absentee ballots be accounted for within 30 minutes of the polls closing. So, I mean, the election law, not a big deal, apparently.
You just can't say, we found some more vote. Oh, let's keep going. We found some more. You're supposed to count them immediately. What's so hard about that?
Well, Rick Scott, Marco Rubio, President Trump all weighing in on this. Outgoing governor, perhaps incoming Senator Rick Scott.
Every Floridian should be concerned there may be rampant fraud happening in Palm Beach and Broward counties. And the Broward Supervisor of Elections, Brenda Snipes, has a history of acting in absolute bad faith. I will not sit idly by while unethical liberals try to steal this election from the great people of Florida. Senator Nelson hired one of Hillary Clinton's lawyers from D.C., and the first thing he did was tell reporters that he's here to win the election.
President Trump.
What's going on in Florida is a disgrace. Go down and see what happened over the last period of time, 10 years. Take a look at Broward County. Take a look at the total dishonesty of what happened with respect to Broward County. Broward County, just press. Broward County /election. There's a lot of dishonesty.
And Marco Rubio's summation on it.
This is a pattern of behavior. So do you believe Brenda Snipes is doing something deliberately to aid and help Bill Nelson?
I believe that at best, the best case scenario, she is incompetent and doesn't know how to do the job. Worst case scenario is there is something nefarious involved here. And in between, within incompetence provides the opportunity for people that want to do wrong to be able to get away with it.
That's a pretty good summation. That's where I'm at. I'm with Marco Rubio. Where are you? Incompetence, something worse, or incompetence, the middle between incompetence, something worse. Incompetence that gives opportunities for those who have nefarious ends. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Let's go to Larry in Bartlett. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Dan and John. I'm just wondering, is Brenda Snipes one of the thousands of people who moved out of Illinois and took her Chicago Democratic politics training with her?
We could bring her back here, don't you think?
Why not?
We need her here.
Well, hell, anybody could win for mayor then, even you, John.
I'm already
Thanks
running
for the call,
for mayor.
Larry.
You know that.
Yeah, what about that? What if Brenda Snipes also administered the Chicago mayoral election to your benefit? Then you wouldn't be crying.
No, then I would be saying, just like the rest of the media is now, ridiculing Marco Rubio, et cetera, for saying, how dare they question the sanctity of the vote? There's no evidence. The Republicans have no evidence.
Exactly.
Really? No evidence?
You'd be out there with the, there's nothing partisan about counting votes. Every vote should count chance, like
Johnny
Andrew
Rocco
Gillum.
way.
Absolutely.
The Johnny Rocco way, baby.
This is also interesting, this reaction. I know the D.C. Press Corps loves to profile some of the Parkland High School survivors when it comes to issues like gun control. What about family of a victim? Meadow Pollock, you remember that name. She was one of the young people murdered in that Parkland High School shooting. Her father opined on this. This election would have been my beautiful Meadow's first election, but she wasn't able to vote because she was murdered during the Parkland shooting. If she can't vote because of that monster, why should he be allowed to register to vote? Shame on Sheriff Israel and Snipes. Talking about the other news, the 1.5 million ex-offenders that are now going to be on the voter rolls in Florida. Interesting perspective.
You need more voters, you bring them in either across the border or from the prisons. That's how it works, okay?
We're not doing good enough with the constituency we have. Let's get a new constituency.
That's the point. And also, to your point on media in Florida, NPR Politics, I'm reading from a Molly Hemingway story in the Federalist on media complicity. NPR Politics. President Trump and Florida Rick Scott are spreading claims of vote fraud. There is no evidence of vote fraud. Pardon me, NPR? National Public Radio, pan flutes, Peruvian pan flutes?
Uh-huh.
Come on.
Well, right. So,
I mean,
nobody is alleging vote fraud, but they are alleging, and a court has concluded violations of the law. Apparently, that's not interesting to NPR. If the reverse was happening, I mean, in terms of who was committing the legal violations, who was the beneficiary of violating the law, I wonder how NPR would cover that. Candace in Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin, formerly of DuPage.
Hey, y'all. Okay, this woman looks like a character in Beetlejuice, and I don't even think that she could count backwards from 100 and to take a DUI. And, this is just another perfect example of why moderates must go in the GOP. Jeb Bush put her in her place. Why? And then secondly, Rick Scott has really bothered me. He's always been a Weebly moderate, okay? Why hasn't he fired her yet? It's pathetic. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Candace. Well, that should be one of the first acts of Governor-elect DeSantis once he's inaugurated, assuming he is.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
You know I love MyPillow and how it's changed how I sleep. Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. And when I heard about the new MyPillow mattress topper, I couldn't wait to try it. Now, I don't know if I love MyPillow or the MyPillow mattress topper more. It's that good. And now you can get a great deal on a MyPillow mattress topper and start getting the best sleep of your life. The exclusive 3-layer design includes MyPillow foam for support, traditional foam to help relieve pressure points, and an ultra-soft patent temperature-regulating cover. It has a 10-year warranty and a cover that's washable and dryable. It's made in the USA, and it's backed by Mike Lindell's 60-day money-back guarantee. You'll get the total body support you need to sleep better. So here's the deal. Right now, you'll save 30% when you use promo code Amy. Plus, you'll receive 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. So visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
Attention maintenance coordinators. Fans are a vital part of your business's building or factory. You've got to keep the air moving, but when they break down or need service, who can you call? Vans Industrial repair all types of fans, from small wall fans to large air movers.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Fan repair is one of many services that Vans offers. If you have a fan with a damaged shaft, bearing, impeller, or housing, we can help. And if you need a new fan, we handle all major brands and can provide engineering assistance to properly size your new fan. Our crews can respond to your emergencies or routine maintenance and will have your fan back up and running fast. And when we're done repairing your fan, we can also dynamically balance it so it runs smooth for years to come.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level, to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND to get your fan repaired today. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real. It happens every day. You can recover. Discover hope and help.
Never give up on yourself.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. What to do about suburban moms. The GOP lost suburban women by 19 points in the midterms. It was well-to-do suburban moms who gave Democrats the House. Should Republicans shame them, as the left does? Should Republicans pander to them with the, "Hi, my name is Dan, I'm a Republican, and I apologize" approach they've been using? How about eliminating their unique designation? Political messaging needs to be succinct with a point. Here's mine for suburban moms. Other than the special role you have in raising your children, you are not special. You're supposed to be a civilizing influence. Instead, you've thrown in with a mob pounding on Tucker Carlson's front door while his wife was locked in her kitchen pantry waiting for police to arrive. I'm not impressed with your BA in ancient civilizations from Vassar. You don't care about good schools or public safety any more than I do. You're not doing any more of the corporal works of mercy than I am. Adhering to Economics 101 axioms doesn't make me a misogynist, and I'm not responsible for the man you chose to marry. Here's my value proposition for you and every other man and woman, whatever their race, religion, age, education, and household income. Separate bathrooms and equal protection under the law. Take it or leave it.
This car I'm driving, I overpaid big time. It was such a mistake. I should have just gone to Carfax.com, but I went to some other site. They gave me a price range? Oh, they were way off. Son of a...
Carfax has a better way. When you search used cars at Carfax.com, you get the most accurate price based on the Carfax report, so you never have to overpay on a used car again. Start your used car search today at Carfax.com.
It's country music's biggest night, the CMA Awards. Luke Bryan and country's hottest new artists kick off the night. Superstar performances by Carrie Underwood, Keith Urban, Kenny Chesney, Garth Brooks.
The greatest music ever. Country music.
Plus, can't miss duets. Jason Aldean with Miranda Lambert. Florida Georgia Line with BB Rexa. The surprises will be legendary. Brad Paisley and Carrie Underwood host the CMA Awards Live, Wednesday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
What does building a better bank look like? It starts with building Capital One cafes, warm, inviting places that feel nothing like a typical bank, where you can open an account with no fees or minimums in 5 minutes. And you'll always find people ready to help you, not sell you. Welcome to Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet?
For consumers only. Offered by Capital One N.A. member FDIC. Cafes available in select locations. Copyright 2018 Capital One.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Fires keep scorching California. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. And the wind keeps making them tough to fight. At least 31 people have died, hundreds of others unaccounted for, especially in Butte County, where 100 homes and buildings have burned.
The Camp Fire at last update was 111,000 acres and 25% contained. 29 of those 31 people who have died up there. It's the most destructive wildfire in California history, but residents in Paradise say they're determined to rebuild.
Fox's Ray Bogan in Ventura County to the south, where another wildfire is blamed for 2 other deaths. 177 homes have burned down there. Those 29 deaths to the north tie the record for the most in a single fire in California history. The recount is underway in Florida for governor and an even closer Senate race, but Republican Rick Scott's confident.
We won. The citizens of the state won. I'm going to be going to D.C.
Broward County's votes are being closely watched. Fox's Evan Brown's there live.
Dave, the machine-led recount is well underway. Democratic gubernatorial candidate Andrew Gillum attended a Count Every Vote rally at a Fort Lauderdale church.
I'm simply here to say that for the votes that have been cast, they ought to be counted.
Gillum has already rescinded his concession from election night. Democrats are arguing that more and more ballots located be counted. Republicans have been critical of that. The machine recount is supposed to be finished by Thursday as per state law, but Palm Beach County is saying they will not make that deadline, Dave.
Eben Democrat Kristen Sinema has a bigger lead in the Arizona Senate race over Republican Martha McSally. President Trump's back in Washington after going to France to mark the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I.
Millions of American, French, and Allied troops had fought with extraordinary skill and valor in one of the bloodiest conflicts in human history.
France's president seemed to take a swipe at him by saying nationalism is a betrayal of patriotism. This is Fox News.
Mostly fair skies across the area, 30 degrees. 6:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. An investigation continues this morning after a security guard was shot and killed by a Midlothian police officer at a bar in Robbins. The incident happened early yesterday while officers were responding to a shooting at Manny's Blue Room on South Clare Boulevard. Chicago police are searching for a man accused of violently sexually assaulting a woman inside of her home on the southwest side. Authorities say the suspect entered the victim's home yesterday morning near 43rd and Richmond and attacked and choked that woman until she lost consciousness. A Chicago man is being accused of beating a concealed carry license holder with a gun used to shoot him. Roy Lee was denied bail at a hearing yesterday after being charged with aggravated battery and deadly use of a weapon after the assault Saturday on a Red Line train at the Cermak Chinatown stop. Chicago sports, Mitchell Trubisky, 3 touchdowns, running for his score. Bears crushed the Lions 34-22 at Soldier Field. Bear corner Kyle Fuller says the defense came up with 2 big interceptions.
Yeah, it's definitely, a goal of ours. And, I think it just comes from guys being in position, putting pressure on the quarterbacks and, capitalizing on them when it's in the air.
Bears lead the NFC North at 6-3. Blackhawks take on the Hurricanes later on tonight in Carolina, while the Bulls host the Mavericks. The news is a service of the makers of AccuCheck Guide. Are prices a mystery when you buy your diabetes test strips? Skip the guessing game and sign up for the AccuCheck Guide Simple Pay program at SimplePaySaves.com, where you'll know you're paying the same low price on quality test strips every time. Exclusions apply. Visit SimplePaySaves.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Hi, I'm Tom Sadeka, President and CEO of Precision Payroll of America. We're the 35-year-old company whose first employee and first client are still working together. We have so many wonderful clients, but with me today is someone very special.
Hi, I'm Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA. We are a nonprofit student organization battling the bias and indoctrination in America's high schools and colleges every day. We are on over 1,000 campuses and continue to grow. Precision Payroll has been there since day one and has helped us immensely as we grew to a truly national organization. No one in the business is better than Precision Payroll. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Charlie. What you're doing is so important. To learn more and help, go to tpusa.com. That's tpusa.com.
And for your business, let Precision Payroll make a difference for you. Call Tom at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507. Or online at precisionpayroll.com.
Thank you, Charlie.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments. Clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Mick O'Rourke, President and CEO of Signature Bank, Chicago's business bank. I'd like to thank our customers for selecting Signature as their trusted banking partner to help build their businesses. We started Signature in 2006, and we've had the opportunity to meet so many hardworking Chicagoans. From third-generation family-owned businesses on the west side of Chicago to tech innovators at 1871. Signature Bank is proud to work across many different industries in the city and beyond. As the fastest-growing, independently owned business bank in Chicago, Signature is always welcoming new customers. I'd love to meet you and learn about your business.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
There's nothing like Eggland's Best Eggs. More of the farm fresh taste I love. Superior nutrition, too. For my family, I buy only the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
It is 6:07 and a check on your morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
On the Veterans Memorial Tollway, southbound 355, traffic to stop and go Butterfield to the Reagan Tollway. There is construction in that area in the right lane, scheduled till 2:30 this afternoon. The Edens Expressway is fine. Kennedy inbound, heavy 190 to Canfield. 23 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 32 with delays from Lawrence to 190. It's heavy on 190 westbound at O'Hare. On Eisenhower, so First Avenue to Des Plaines Avenue, western to the Burns Circle, 32 minutes, 390 to downtown, up on 29. Stevenson inbound delays start at Harlem, 43 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. On Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th to downtown, I-57, Bishop Ford, both good. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center and our meteorologist, Madison Baggett.
Partly cloudy today, chilly. Strong winds coming in from the southwest, 8 to 16 miles per hour, high 40 as we head into the evening. Increasing cloud coverage, remaining chilly, low 20. As we start off our week, mostly cloudy and cold for Monday, high 34. Taking a look at Tuesday, breezy and quite chilly at times with sun and some clouds, high 29. I'm Maddie Baggett on AM 560 The Answer.
29 at O'Hare, 27 in Aurora. Next news update, 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, what fresh hell is this? John Cash, Chicago Tribune columnist, sitting in for Amy Jacobson.
Enlighten me. What fresh hell am I in now?
Well, first of all, that's a hat tip to Dorothy Parker, who I think was channeling Shakespeare and Henry VIII.
You know what she said about horticulture?
Hmm.
You could lead a horticulture, but you can't make her think.
That's why she was a noted humorist and satirist who I enjoy. What fresh hell is this? I haven't heard that one, but it's a good Dorothy Parkerism.
Right,
Very good. It's nice to have a man of letters in the studio.
Yes, it's like a
man
salon.
of letters.
A salon. A French word.
You've spoke enough French during the first hour. All right?
Macron.
Throttle back.
Simmer down.
The fresh hell, Hillary 4.0.
Oh, God.
She's running again in 2020. Fresh hell, not for me, for the Democrats. Mark Penn, we had on the show before. Interesting guy, good writer. He was also a longtime pollster and senior advisor to the Clinton Inc. crime family. Writing in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend, get ready for Hillary Clinton 4.0, more than 30 years in the making. Scheduled for early release in 2019, the new version, when she runs for president in 2020, will come full circle back to the universal health care promoting progressive firebrand of 94. That was actually my favorite Hillary Clinton, so I'm so glad that that's come full circle, as Penn writes, and it's back in style. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line.
Hillary running for office, you actually started my morning this way?
She is like Nixon in 68. She is tan, rested, and ready.
So, in other words, put away the box Chardonnay, Hillary, and watching those VHS tapes of your greatest hits. Come back out of the house. Do you know the house she lives in?
In Chappaqua?
No, it's a wooden house, and it's got chicken feet, gigantic chicken legs. And she says, "Turn around, little house, turn around." It's Baba Yaga, okay, of the Slavic Russian myths. And I'm running for the hills, my friend.
That is a deep dig. Very
sir.
good. Your favorite version of Hillary Clinton, or are you just excited for an updated 4.0 from her? I guess that would be 1.0 back in 94.
Well, you know, Dan, if you find a lot of turtles on the top of fence posts, then you have to ask yourself, how did those turtles get on that fence post?
Is that you doing Hillary doing G.K. Chesterton?
Me doing Hillary when she had her southern accent going.
I ain't no ways tired.
And then the best was eating pie in one of the Carolinas while crying that Barack Obama's campaign had turned her into a racist in 2008.
Oh, I see.
I just love the fact that Barack Obama can play that crap too, right?
I did not like Hillary Clinton 2.0, the New York, the U.S. Senator from New York, and then the centrist running against Obama. I didn't like Hillary Clinton 3.0, the kleptocrat who was our Secretary of State.
Right.
Hillary Clinton 1.0, that's the sharp elbows Hillary Clinton. That's the real Hillary Clinton. That's the Tammy Wynette.
Bimbo.
That's the
Bimbo
vast right-wing
eruption
conspiracy.
Squad.
That's what I want. I want full octane.
I do. I want 100% Hillary Baba Yaga Clinton.
Expect Hillary 4.0 to come out swinging, writes Penn. She has to decisively win those Iowa caucus goers who've never warmed up to her. They will now see her as a strong partisan left-leaning and all Democrat, the one with guts, experience, steely-eyed determination to defeat Mr. Trump. This is fascinating. He makes the point she still enjoys a 75% approval rating among Democrats.
Who does?
Hillary.
Okay.
Because
I'm done.
Well, because what? Because they buy the bull jive that the election was somehow stolen from her. She didn't kick it away. It was taken from her. She won the popular vote.
She's never had to walk naked through the streets of where? What's the Westrosian street where she had the walk of shame? Didn't she have one at the end of her campaign?
Well, the glass ceiling they couldn't break the night
that's right.
of.
It was the man's fault, right? It was
75% approval rating among Democrats. Isn't that fascinating?
And among Democratic women, what is it?
Well,
let's wait for that because.
But then, like I was on Dumont's show Beyond the Beltway last night. A couple of Democrats were talking about, a little bit about this in the break. Michael Bowers, an attorney, Randall Sanborn, also an attorney, used to be a spokesman for Fitzgerald when he was U.S. attorney.
Now he's a Democratic guy, huh?
Well, no, he always was. Now he's just
releasing it.
Yes,
right. Yeah.
But man, you mentioned the prospect of Hillary Clinton running again. And it's just like letting the air out of a balloon. And I've talked to other people about this too, other Democrats. And I mean, you get an eye roll. You can roll your eyes all you want in a field of 20 candidates, including some of the,
It's like saying Dorothy Brown, goat lady, can't win get in the runoff in Chicago. It's a big field.
Perhaps, but I mean, look, a big field and a big field of people that are marginally known, and they're known for. I am Spartacus and I am Pocahontas. You don't think Hillary Clinton can dispatch them?
Yeah, she can. She'll cut them apart with her elbows. But there's one that she can't deal with.
Who's that, Bill?
No. Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama's not running for anything.
You sure?
Why? Because she's selling books? You think she's running?
Wait a second. You don't think she wants to be back in?
I don't think.
She wants to be. Listen, man.
All right.
She put up with a lot of stuff from her husband. She did that whole, well, they go high, we go low, and all that crap that she did. But she's a Chicago girl. And I got a feeling that she wants it just as bad as Hillary.
No way.
Michelle, our president. I think I might have to touch my forehead to the floor.
Touch something else.
Kowtow.
First of all.
Just like you do when you see Michael Madigan.
First of all, it is not metaphysically possible for somebody to want it more than Hillary Clinton. So that's just, I just reject that out of hand. Do you honestly think Michelle Obama has any interest in running for office,
Yes.
much less president?
Yes, I do.
Do you really?
Yeah. Because
I don't see it.
Getting $20 million or $30 million a year from Netflix to crank out Democratic propaganda movies on Netflix isn't enough.
Yeah, but they
I
have.
think she wants it.
But they have celebrity without responsibility. That's what I want. That's what everybody wants. Celebrity without responsibility and a lot of money to go with it.
I just want a fishing pole, man. A fishing pole.
Come down to Florida.
And a bottle of rum.
You can fish off my pier.
I will.
And that's not a
be
metaphor.
Like the Uncle Charlie to your My Three Sons. Yes. I'll just be like, thanks, Dan. I'll go fishing.
Tom in Deer Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan.
Well, good morning, if you can call it that, with this latest thought. Of the 50 candidates, Hillary's going to have to outflank to the left Michael Avenatti,
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey, as you mentioned, Pocahontas and Spartacus, and then the potential serious candidates like Michelle Obama and Rahm Emanuel. So it's going to be very
Yeah.
entertaining.
You haven't mentioned a serious candidate yet, which is why you're going to get Hillary 4.0. Thanks for the call, Tom. What about the prospect like you could get a Hickenlooper, the outgoing governor of Colorado? You get a centrist Democrat. You think there's any chance of that?
I guess that's what passes for a centrist Democrat.
Well, exactly.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, he's really like when I interviewed him years ago in Colorado. It was he was a lefty.
Oh, he's all doped up too.
I don't know about that.
Megan in Evanston.
Hey, just good show, you guys. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. And my question is, what color will the pantsuits be? Can't wait to see that look back on the stage.
You mean
Thanks
the
for-
pantsuits
thanks for
that
the call, Megan.
Dan and I are going to wear in honor of Hillary?
I like the.
I go for a euchre, whatever that is. Isn't that a card game?
It is a card game. It's also a former catcher for the
Bob
Brewers
Uecker.
and
Yeah.
broadcaster. I liked. It's a good question about the pantsuits. What's
Taupe.
For 4.0? Maybe she'll go back to
Mini skirts. Yeah. No?
Ooh. Ooh. Wow.
I don't care what people look. Look, I'm not a. In my mind, I'm beautiful, but I know when you see me, I'm not.
You're beautiful on the inside.
On
where
the
it counts.
inside, yeah.
Yeah.
On the inside, where the red meat and the scotch and soda is.
I think Hillary Clinton's cankles could rival yours.
I
don't want to
actually,
see either one
I'm
of you in a
rather,
miniskirt.
I'm rather fine boned, Dan. If
Are you?
Paid attention.
Very supple legs, do you? Here's the thing. What about if it's going to be Hillary Clinton 4.0 as 1.0 updated? Then why not go back to like that late 80s, early 90s fashion?
The hairspray, and the
Big hair.
Big hair, and the Tammy Wynette, and the you got to find that tape. Your Cracker Jack producer should find that.
Oh, the vast right-wing conspiracy?
No, the turtles on the fence post.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you hear, I can't believe that didn't become a thing. You know,
there's so many things with her.
But that's just so perfect because it's just so obviously crafty, like a third-rate villain in a bad movie.
I think she's more credible alleging vast right-wing conspiracies with the bigger hair. I find it more persuasive.
As opposed to the pearls? Yeah.
Although I did like the potato sack that she wore in one of the final debates last cycle.
The one where Trump was stalking her within 2 inches, walking right behind her, and doing this whole man thing that I really couldn't stand.
Yeah.
Really bothered me.
Well, you're a feminist. David,
I am.
9094. Yeah. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer, David.
Dave.
Hillary Clinton won't win. Democrats are doing a recount. Al Gore's going to win.
Okay, there you go. Al Gore, retroactively declared president in 2000. Mike on the north side.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. I wanted to ask you, is Jay Leno coming back to take the Tonight Show again? Because we have Deja Vu Monday going on. We got John Cass back on the radio, Hillary Clinton running for president, another Daley running for mayor, Florida is screwing up another election. And now I hear on the news that somebody on a Red Line train was shot and he was arrested because he took the gun away from the victim and he started beating him with it. It's like, what is going on? Everything is wrong. All we need now is for John Cass to start tattooing people with Mutsa.
Thanks for the call, Micah. And just remember, the classics never go out of style.
If you find a turtle on a fence post, it did not get there on its own.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, Joshi, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
The school year started just a short time ago, but it's not too late for your son or daughter to get the outstanding education and preparation for life that St. John's Northwestern Military Academy offers with their ongoing enrollment program. For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men and is now an excellent co-ed environment. Not a school for troubled kids, but one that will prepare young men and women for college by focusing on rigorous academics and leadership with a safe, secure, and structured environment free from distractions that's conducive to successful learning. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, spiritual and character development, athletics, and their military traditions. And there's still time to enroll your son or daughter for this school year. Call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
It's so nice now that the kids are asleep.
Cheers.
We got the kids, our house, a stable income.
Checking off all the boxes.
But there's one box we haven't checked off.
What's that?
Life insurance.
We don't need to think about that now. We're young.
That's why now is the best time. Life insurance gets more expensive the older you get.
But I don't have time to do a blood test. It's such a hassle to meet with someone just to get a quote.
Not with Ethos.
Ethos?
It's a modern kind of life insurance. You just answer 4 quick questions at getethos.com and get a free instant quote. No pushy salespeople. And no medical exams required for policies covering under $1 million. You can apply online in just 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Let's do it.
But then what will we do for the rest of the night?
I'm sure we can think of something.
Get your free instant quote and submit your complete application in minutes. Just go to getethos.com. That's ETHOS. Getethos.com. Getethos.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I had cancer. I have fibromyalgia. I have nerve damage and fatigue. I have thalassemia. I'm hypoglycemic. So my life since cancer, I've had to learn how to live with it. But starting Balance of Nature, I felt it the first month. I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
What recourse is there for a company that gives out false information to the public? This is Law and Justice with Jay Sekulow.
My wife receives in the mail from the Planned Parenthood organization in our city an envelope, and on that envelope it says, "Congratulations, your membership card is enclosed." And it always angers me because I think they're trying to imply that my wife is a member of Planned Parenthood of Minnesota.
First, you need to notify Planned Parenthood to take you off the mailing list so that you don't want it, you're not a member, and make that very clear. With regard to whether there's legal action, it's something that's interesting to explore. I'm not sure how you would, I guess you would assert in a proceeding that this was some kind of a libel or forced association. That'd have to be looked at. But the first thing I would do is get to Planned Parenthood and tell them to take you off the list.
The American Center for Law and Justice is here to defend our religious liberties. Learn more about the American Center for Law and Justice on our website at aclj.org. That's aclj.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
Turtle on a fence post. Turtle on a fence post.
Be a great campaign theme song for Hillary. Hillary's gone country. Has Cody Parkey been cut yet? No, not getting cut, I hear. Yeah, you have to turn your microphone on for the kids to hear you.
It's on. The finest soccer players in the world could not hit the post 4 times.
It was quite something, and I'm just glad that you're aware of the Chicago Bears.
I watched it. I like to watch people destroy their brain cells. It's fun.
I'll tell you what, they're going to be a tough out. I mean, in the NFC, Rams, Saints, that Bears team and that defense, they're going to be in every game. They're going to be a tough out this year.
Good team.
Northwestern, the same, and you think, oh, this would be one of these times where Northwestern is in the news, and the value of my undergraduate degree from there does not go down, and that's where you'd be wrong. Northwestern on track to lose to Michigan again in the Big Ten championship game. But they are leading the Big Ten West, and so that prompted this op-ed in the esteemed New York Times from Northwestern University graduate Carmel McCobrey, who writes, "I miss Northwestern football's losing tradition." She worked for the Daily Northwestern. I was part of starting a campus alternative paper to the Daily Northwestern called the Northwestern Chronicle, which still exists to this day. Thank you very much. When I worked for the sports section of the campus newspaper, writes Miss McCobrey, we dutifully write features about the hopes and dreams of the football players at the beginning of the season. Then, as the season rolled on, we would just as dutifully record their losses next to accounts of the exploits of the university's real star athletes, the field hockey team. Sigh. And that was all right. That was okay because nobody went to Northwestern for its football prowess. So it's been disconcerting in recent years to see Northwestern be competitive in the Big Ten and regularly appear in bowl games. The problem, football's not healthy. So it's been much more than disconcerting that my alma mater's success and its big investment in the sport comes as we're being reminded every day of the price football players pay and traumatic brain injury. News of Northwestern's triumphs now just serves as a reminder that there are real young men behind those wins whose brains are being battered. I want the Wildcats to win less so they won't play as much. What? It also makes, 1 or 2 less games. Oh, you're so caring, Miss McCobrey. Another sentimental, barbaric nitwit with an NU degree. It's also making me increasingly uncomfortable about giving to my old school. When I donate nowadays, I make sure to earmark my gift so it won't be applied to the football team in some way. In advance of Northwestern's victory over Iowa on Saturday, she writes, a victory would put them a step closer to the Big Ten championship game after the regular season. I'll root for them to play safe and lose.
What is that about?
It's about Miss McCobrey virtue signaling.
Well,
I said it's in the New York Times, and she's a staff editor in the opinion section. Do I need to offer any more evidence to support my contention?
I'm with her on the brain damage, okay, but I'm also against her on the love of football and spectacle, and therefore I'm caught between 2 places.
But full knowledge of the risks. and you make up your own mind.
When you're a kid, no. Why don't you parents should give their kids
Well, these aren't
cigarettes
kids.
and whiskey, and say, why don't you smack each other in the heads with socks filled with sand, and I'll feel a lot better like a true American. That's what it is, dude.
Yeah.
And, I know this because I've dealt with concussion-related issues. I'm just saying, it's not a good thing. But I do have to say on a brighter note that I didn't go to Northwestern, but Dave Dombrowski, the general manager of the Boston Red Sox.
Yes.
Right, the World Series Boston Red Sox.
Yes, I've heard of it.
I went to went to Richards High School, and they're still rolling in the playoffs. So I'm just saying.
Wait, so it's you, Dave Dombrowski, and Dwayne Wade?
Yeah, with me being the great athlete of all.
No, there's no question about that.
John, the Greek Lightning.
No,
Yeah.
I think I was the smallest starting guard in the history of high school football. I was 160 pounds.
Is that right?
So are you like Mr. McCarberry?
I was just mean.
No. You root for Richards to play safe and lose, so they'd play.
No,
less.
I don't. I like. Look, I'm torn between it. I like watching the game, and if you really want skill, you know where.
All right, I've had enough namby-pambiness
Oh,
from
stop
you
it, real
this morning.
American man.
We're going to get real American commentary from Diamond and Silk at 6:36. No mincing of
Tell
words.
it, girl.
Mincing. Now we check the headlines with Mike Scott.
30 degrees outside, fair skies at 6:32, and French President Emmanuel Macron calling out President Trump's boast of being a nationalist. It happened during a speech on the 100th anniversary at the end of World War I. Senator Ted Cruz doesn't believe Congress should pass any legislation protecting the investigation into Russian election interference.
Had a bill come through the Judiciary Committee that tried to make it impossible for a special counsel to be removed. I believe that legislation was unconstitutional, that it was inconsistent with Article 2 of the Constitution.
On CBS's Face the Nation, Senator Bill Nelson and Mayor Andrew Gillum trying to slam Republicans for wanting to stop the vote counting process in Florida. Nelson says continuing the count, he believes, is about preserving democracy.
Public office is a public trust. I won't stand for anyone using his position to undermine our democratic process.
However, Florida Governor Rick Scott, who won that Senate election over Nelson, says Nelson is just being a sore loser.
Senator Nelson is clearly trying to commit fraud to try to win this election. That's all this is.
Nelson and Tallahassee Mayor Gillum say regardless of the outcome, voices will be heard. Former President George W. Bush and former First Lady Laura Bush are now Liberty Medal Award winners.
I am incredibly proud, along with Laura, to receive the Liberty Medal. And I thank the National Constitution Center and the members of its board for this high honor.
The two received the honors last night with the award presented by former Vice President Joe Biden. An investigation continues after a security guard was shot and killed by Midlothian police at a bar in Robbins. It happened yesterday at Manny's Blue Room on South Clare Boulevard. The wife of a Metra track inspector killed in an explosion earlier this month is suing the commuter rail agency. Sandy Zavala filed that wrongful death lawsuit last week, claiming Metra failed to provide her husband with a reasonably safe place to work. Mitchell Trubisky, 3 scores through the air. He ran for another. Bears beat the Lions 34-22 at Soldier Field. Blackhawks looking to end a 7-game losing skid when they play the Hurricanes in Carolina tonight. Bulls host the Mavericks as well. The news, a service of Mothers Against Drunk Driving for victims of drunk and drug driving. Their grief is unique, but you are not alone. MADD is here to help. Call their 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MADD-HELP, MADD.org, MADD.org. 6:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Finally, all the shouting is over. We now have winners and losers. This election season seemed to be more difficult, contentious, and even painful than ever before. For all you winners, congratulations. For all you losers, you can always try again. For the American people, time to do as we always do. Come together and heal. Hey, life will go on. America is still the greatest, best hope for the world. If you don't believe it, just stick with us. We'll get you through. AM 560, The Answer.
Have you ever been concerned that you might have high cholesterol? Did you know that high cholesterol is a key risk factor for heart disease? We are conducting a national research study that will examine a cholesterol-lowering medicine that could become available over the counter. If you are concerned you may have high cholesterol, you may qualify for this study. Take our online assessment at www.heartriskstudy.com to see if you qualify. Again, please visit www.heartriskstudy.com to see if you qualify.
One of the biggest fears for retirees and soon-to-be retirees, do I have enough? Do I have enough money to last for the rest of my life? I hear it every day when I meet with individuals, and it's for good reason. Check this statistic out. If you were born in 1800, you could expect to live until you were 39 years old. In 1900, 49. That number jumped to 68 in 1950, and today it's 79. How many people do you know that are in their 80s, in their 90s? Hi, this is Tom Fortino, host of the Alpha Wealth Hour, heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. here on AM 560. So how do you help ensure you never run out of money in retirement? The answers are in our special report, Maximizing Income in Retirement. In this powerful report, you'll discover successful tools and strategies on how to help turbocharge your income in retirement and how to position and protect your money regardless of what happens in the stock market. Call now to receive this report, Maximizing Income in Retirement, and will include 6 strategies to tax-free income. Call the Alpha Wealth Group, 630-519-4742 right now to receive your free report. That's 630-519-4742.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
6:37 and a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Cadence Expressway inbound traffic is heavy. Peterson Junction, 21 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, southbound 20. Inbound Kennedy has scattered delays. It's 31 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 15 from Montrose, 10 on the Express. Outbound 40 minutes to the airport. Westbound 190 is bottled up. Kennedy to Manheim. Inbound Eisenhower slow 25th Avenue to Harlem and California to the Circle. 40 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 32. Van Stevenson, 49 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 35. Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishop Fort, both good. North on Tri-State, slow in pockets from the Reagan Tollway to Balmoral. Veterans Memorial now okay. The other tollways are fine. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Cloudy, cold, 35 today. Chilly low of 19 overnight and a high near 30 tomorrow. 29 at O'Hare. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by AM Woodland Outdoor Design, creating a landscape to be proud of. amwoodland.com.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan, and in for Amy this morning is Chicago Tribune columnist extraordinaire John Kass. And John, Nancy Pelosi was all over the airwaves this weekend. The incoming speaker. People want to get a handle on just what House Democrats will do. All investigation, no legislation, impeachment on the table. And we're not just talking about for Brett Kavanaugh either. Nancy Pelosi said, the election and what they're about, protecting Obamacare.
It's an urgency that I can't resist. I mean, if Hillary Clinton had won, our Affordable Care Act would be protected and I could go home. No one in California ever gets Potomac fever. We always want to go home. But that didn't happen, sadly, for our country. So this is something that I feel that I have all of my experience is geared to, all of my legislative...
Do you think you can handle Trump on a regular basis? The way he is, as personal as it can be, as constant as the attacks can be?
I've been the workhorse, and people say, well, you're not a show horse. Well, I have to be a workhorse and a show horse now because I'll be center stage. But all of these candidates, all of our incumbents, they'll be taking their message home. The public will see. The public will see what this discussion is about, where we have our agreements and where we have our disagreements and what it means in their lives.
Yeah.
She's really good when nobody pushes back.
You
push back, when people push back on her on the occasion, like if Dan Proft, and if we had her on the show right now, she'd sound like, I want to go to the Jell-O. I want to have Jell-O at 4 o'clock.
I think it was Chris Cuomo or Allison Camerata or Don Lemon. I don't know who was interviewing her. They're all the same. But here's the thing: the show horse and workhorse. The best part of that, if you just separate out the Obamacare riff for a second, if Hillary Clinton had won, Nancy Pelosi would have gone home because her work here is done. She's just, been existing for 3 decades in the House.
Just on the chance that she could go home.
And also to, make sure we have government-run health insurance. Here's the thing on the merits of health insurance, and I agree with, by the way, this is one of the best guys on the topic, in addition to our own C.S. Tucker, Robert Leszewski, who has his own blog, Health Policy and Market blog. Has a good post over the weekend, what neither the Republicans nor the Democrats understand about Obamacare and about this election. The pre-existing conditions demagoguery that Democrats ran against Republicans, including against Roscoe and Hultgren here successfully, though I don't think that was really the whole thing. But Leszewski argues it was about health insurance security. And that's what Republicans left themselves susceptible to with the repeal and replace that they advanced out of the House and failed in the Senate, thanks to John McCain. But he points out a couple of uncomfortable statistics when it comes to health insurance security and, by extension, health care security. 22% drop in persons covered in the individual health insurance market. The individual health insurance market is shrinking. And it's shrinking at the expense of middle-income families. 47% drop in the last 2 years in families eligible for the subsidies, the insurance subsidies. The Obamacare actually is doing what exactly people like me predicted it would do, which is imploding upon itself because of the costs, premiums and deductibles skyrocketing. So middle-income families getting squeezed. Yes, there's more in coverage technically at the lower end of the socioeconomic scale, but it is at the expense of an individual health insurance market. So it's and the ability to afford health insurance for middle-income families who don't qualify for subsidies, or who qualify for subsidies that just don't cover their nut. I mean, it doesn't make it make sense because the deductibles and premiums are so high. So the point is that this is just a slow-walking government takeover of health insurance that the left wanted from the outset.
It's what Obama knew at the beginning, and so did all of them. It's about hurting people. You hurt them until they start crying, it's costing me too much money. Please, government, help us. Help us. That's how they do it. And that's how you get wild pigs into the corral.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right. They punish you.
Right.
They hurt you, and they say, "Now I'm here to help you."
Right.
But Leszewski has a good point about Republicans being terrible on messaging this, even with some late efforts like by Louisiana Senator Cassidy, who's actually a doctor, medical doctor, real doctor, making the point that every Republican plan, every Republican proposal, including at the state level, cover pre-existing conditions. For more on this topic and so many others, we're pleased to be joined by the First Ladies in Punditry, our friends Diamond and Silk, and the stars, by the way, of this new documentary, Dummycrats, which I think has debuted. Diamond and Silk, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having us.
When is Dummycrats is out, yes?
Oh, Dummycrats is already out. If
Yeah.
you want to, for the holiday, you can get it on DVD. Go to diamondandsilk.com to find out more details.
All right, there it is, diamondandsilk.com.
What's it about?
Dummycrats.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was about exposing the swamp, like the Nancy Pelosi's, the Maxine Waters, the people that sit on their assets and collect a paycheck every month from taxpayers' dollars and don't do nothing for their district. They live in mansions behind picket fences and beautiful vineyards. but the people in their district are living in tents and trash is everywhere. So what we were doing was exposing the hypocrisy is what we were doing, and we were being featured in that movie.
All right, so Diamond and Silk, give us your postmortem on the election. You've got Democrats plus 32 tracking to plus 37 in the House, and maybe only 2 pickups for Republicans in the Senate. Was that a rejection of President Trump?
No, it was not a rejection of President Trump. What that is, it forces the Democrats to come to the table and legislate instead of investigate and stagnate.
That's right.
And if they don't, because they ran on health care, if you don't, then the American people get to see you for who you are, and we can flip those seats. We can flip seats red come 2020. So, no, this was not. Listen, while the Democrats was playing checkers, the president was playing chess, you have to understand 40-some people retired.
And resign,
which left the president at a disadvantage, which left the Republican Party at a disadvantage.
And that's 40-some Republicans,
right,
that resigned.
The president didn't complain. He went on, and he went out there, and he campaigned viciously and hard, and he galvanized and energized the base. And we all got out and voted for him. Now, here's what we're concerned.
Right.
There's something else huge that's going on that we just can't put our finger on. When I see a lot of these races were too close or too close to cause or within the margin of error, something's wrong here. And then when we look at what's happening down in Florida, something is most definitely wrong. And then when we listen to Brenda Snipes, who say, hey, you know, I added in some ballots where I think these were illegal aliens that voted. Well, how do we know you only added in 20 and not added in more? So there's something seriously going on here. And we can't put our finger on it, but we know that we see the art of the steal. And see, now I wake up this morning and I find out a crook want to rerun for president again. So now, how are you all making it easier to cheat? Because I said some cheating went on during this election. And what they're doing is we'll bring them too close to call, and then now that'll garner a recount. And then you'll start this hysteria all across the country and then have everybody questioning the integrity of the election, which is bothersome. And can I just say one more thing? This is not about race, because the left is going to try to make this about race. This is about the left trying to steal an election from the winners who won the race is what this is about. So we got to get to the bottom of this, because I don't like the way this makes me feel, you all. There is something really nasty going on up under the surface.
Listen, I got a question for you. May I ask a question, Diamond?
Come on, ask it.
All right, I hear all that talking about race. I hear talk about how these white suburban women were involved in this election and didn't vote for Trump and voted for the Democrats, or if they didn't vote for Democrats and those white suburban women were racist. What do you have to say
if they didn't vote for Democrats, they are being deemed racist. You have them talking about the white men in this country that's racist and making it look like it's something wrong with them. Let me tell you something. Just because you are black and you were the first to be the governor or the first to be this, that doesn't mean you deserve a trophy, okay? If you didn't win it, you didn't win it. I look at what's happening down in Georgia with Abrams. She wants a recount. A recount for what? You did not win it. You wasn't even within the margin of error. Now all of a sudden, mysteriously, ballots are popping up. It's all a bunch of foolishness. She thinks just because Obama and Oprah went down there and campaigned for you, knocked on 2 doors, and then said a little cute speech, that you were supposed to win this. See, this is the stuff, and see, what the left would do is take this here and make this about race. This is not about race. This is about winning an election fairly. If they won it fairly, they won it fairly. Stop. We need a recount. We need a recount because I deserve to win this, because I'm going to be the first black governor. Just because you're the first don't make you the best.
Well, now, Diamond and Silk, I have to push back. I mean, not me, somebody that's much.
Well, come on, push back.
Well, I'm enlisting some heavyweight here. This is Michelle Ruiz writing in Vogue, so Vogue has been called. In the Georgia governor's race, 75% of white women, more even than white men, voted for the Republican Brian Kemp, who's passionately pro-life, over Stacey Abrams, a staunch protector of women's reproductive rights, while 97% of black women supported Stacey Abrams. So what is your message to those white women who've obviously sold out their gender?
Hold on, wait a minute. White women did not sell out anything. They voted for the candidate that they wanted to vote for. And shame on Vogue. You see the racial innuendos. You see the putting people against each other. Shame on Vogue. If people, and listen, if I was in Georgia, I would not have voted for Abrams. She sounds like a socialist. Anytime you're telling me that you want to socialize health care, you want socialized medicine, I'm going to look at you, because now what you want is the government to control and tell me how long I can live, what kind of medicine I can have, and you are about to create a disaster. So I would have voted against Abrams. I would have went with Kim. So they voted in their best interest. Why would I want to vote for somebody that's pushing socialistic ideas? You bring somebody like an elitist, like the Oprah Winfrey's down there. Oprah Winfrey lived in California and probably a 10-square-foot mansion behind a picket fence. She ain't got to deal with the sanctuary city around her house. She ain't got to deal with the stuff that goes on in Georgia. People should have woke up and looked at that. But Abrams lost. So why is she advocating for a recount when you lost fair and square? See, there's something else going on here that people need to look at.
Yeah.
When you have us all questioning the integrity of an election because you're creating these shenanigans across the country, we're looking at you.
And just look at it like this. Look at how a lot of Republicans have won their race. Now, all of a sudden, all of these ballots mysteriously is coming out of thin air, just popping up from nowhere, being added and being counted, and now certain seats and different races are now being flipped to Democrats. Something is not right. Something is not right here, and what we got to do is call that out, and we got to investigate that. What's going on here? If the Democrats are so concerned about some type of foreign interference in an election, they should be concerned about illegal aliens' foreign interference in an election. That's what they should be concerned about. But where are the Democrats on that? Where is Mueller investigation on that? Everybody is quiet. They're quiet, just like a mice peeing on cotton.
That's right.
All right. That is quiet, by the way. Diamond and Silk, Diamond and Silk, the first ladies of punditry, host of The Viewer's View, and stars of the new documentary Dummycrats, which you can get at diamondandsilk.com. Perfect stocking stuffer. Diamond and Silk, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
And they joined us on the Turnkey.pro Answer line.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Homebuilders taking a beating as mortgage interest rates rise. Monster Energy drink shares tumbling as Coca-Cola joins the competition. And the duck boat captain faces a 17-count indictment. Those stories next.
Stocks and options trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Hey guys, it's Scott Bauer here, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Are you looking for a super hot stock tip? Here at Prosper, we are always looking for exciting opportunities in the markets. And right now, all my students are salivating over the stock we are watching. In fact, I've got this hot stock written down right here, and I'm about to text it to you for free. I just need to know where to send it. Simply text HOT to 48542, and I'll text it to you instantly. How do I know this stock is so hot? Well, I'm a former CBOE market maker for Amazon Options, former vice president of Goldman Sachs, and I have over 25 years of professional trading experience. I'm telling you, this stock is hot. But be warned, the stock may move soon, so you need to claim it before it does. Text HOT to 48542, and I'll text you this hot stock instantly. Text HOT to 48542, and I'll text you this hot stock instantly. Message and data rates may apply.
Homebuilders across the country continue to take a beating as mortgage interest rates trend higher. Freddie Mac announcing another increase yesterday to a 7-year high for fixed-rate mortgages. Home sales plummeting as a result, the trend causing first-time buyers to grapple with sticker shock. And Monster Energy drink shares tumbling after its partner Coca-Cola announced it will develop 2 of its own energy drinks. The captain of that duck boat tourist attraction that capsized and sank in southwest Missouri faces a 17-count federal indictment. 17 people, including 9 members of one family, were killed in the accident, which has prompted other boat operators nationwide to suspend operations pending safety reviews. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Where has the year gone? It seems like the holidays always sneak up on us so fast. Most retailers do their shopping in the first quarter of the year, but there are some exceptions. Fox Valley Coins in Naperville is gearing up now for the biggest season of the year. They want to buy before Christmas. Fox Valley Coins is one of the largest rare coin dealers in the entire Midwest. The sales of precious metals and rare coins and currency has been very brisk this year, so now they're on a huge buying spree. Fox Valley Coins buy all forms of gold and silver bars, coins, and jewelry, and they specialize in the rare and collector coins and currency. Find Fox Valley Coins on Route 59 in Ferry, just north of I-88 at the Naperville-Warrenville border. They'll make house calls to your home or bank on larger collections in November. FoxValleyCoins.com. Sure, they'll buy after Christmas, but they're stocking their shelves now. Get to Fox Valley Coins on Route 59 in Ferry in Naperville or online, FoxValleyCoins.com. FoxValleyCoins.com. Dealers since 1981.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher & Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher & Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher & Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at KelleherBuckley.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I thought I had a sinus headache for a few days, but I had a massive brain aneurysm, hemorrhage of the brain, and a stroke. And I was on my deathbed. I was on a respirator in a coma for 35 days. And 3 months later, I came home in a wheelchair. I had double vision. I had to learn to walk again, to speak again. 1 and 1 is 2, write the alphabet. You know, if I went out and did a little something, I'd come home, I'd be in bed. Now I'm up by like 5:30 in the morning, and I go to the gym. I do shopping. I cook. I have energy all day. I mean, I feel great. Overall, my whole outlook, just feeling, my mental aspect, everything is better.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up at 7:07, we're going to talk to John Lott Jr. What are the implications for Second Amendment rights with Nancy Pelosi as House Speaker? But now we check the headlines with Mike Scott.
The wife of a Metro worker killed in an explosion is suing. Bears top the Lions at Soldier Field. WINT Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
They're recounting the votes across Florida. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and Governor Rick Scott still claims victory that he unseated Democratic Senator Bill Nelson.
He's just a pure sore loser trying to steal an election.
Scott and Republicans have filed suit claiming gross incompetence in Broward County, where Fox's Griff Jenkins is at an elections office.
Much of what Governor Scott's lawsuit focuses on is against Dr. Brenda Snipes, the supervisor here, accusing her of failing to account for the number of ballots left to be counted. And that's what they're trying to do here right right now.
And Democrats have said there's no fraud, and Scott's misusing his power as governor, cutting at the very core of our democracy, they say. There's also a recount in the close governor's race. There's a Thursday deadline to finish. President Trump's back from a trip to France, just tweeting that much was accomplished meeting with world leaders, but it's never easy, he wrote, bringing up the fact the U.S. must be treated fairly, which it hasn't, on military and trade. He was there honoring Americans marking the end of World War I.
Great warriors they are, who gave everything for family, country, God, and freedom.
Fox's Simon Owen was there, now joins us live.
But Dave, the president was seated just a few feet away when French President Emmanuel Macron used a commemoration ceremony to attack rising nationalism. His words are spoken by a translator.
Nationalism is a betrayal of patriotism by saying, our interests first, who cares about the others?
President Trump later paid tribute to America's war dead at an American cemetery in the Paris suburbs, but he was criticized after a trip to another cemetery was canceled for rain. Dave?
7 wildfires keep scorching California. 31 people have died, most in Butte County, more than 200 others unaccounted for.
It's extremely heartbreaking, and I think for everybody, especially if people suffering from not knowing.
And the fire there destroyed the town of Paradise, torching 6,700 homes and buildings. This is Fox News.
29 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. An investigation continues at this hour after a security guard was shot and killed by a Midlothian police officer at a bar in Robbins. The incident happened yesterday while officers were responding to a shots fired call at Manny's Blue Room on South Clare Boulevard. The officer entered that bar, shot Jamel Robertson after noticing he was armed with a gun. 4 other people in the bar suffered gunshot wounds and were then hospitalized. Chicago police are searching for a man accused of a violent sexual assault of a woman inside of her home. Authorities say the suspect entered the victim's home yesterday morning near 43rd and Richmond. The wife of a Metra track inspector killed in an explosion earlier this month on Chicago's Northwest Side is suing the commuter rail agency. Sandy Zavala filed a wrongful death lawsuit last week claiming Metra failed to provide her husband with a reasonably safe place to work. Police are investigating after a car crashed into a new police station in Arlington Heights. Authorities say officers responded to the accident yesterday at their new police facility, still under construction. The Georgia man who was driving the car remains hospitalized this morning in critical condition. No one was in that building at the time of the crash. Mitchell Trubisky threw for 3 touchdowns through the air, ran for another. Bears beat the Lions 34-22 at Soldier Field. The Blackhawks take on Carolina tonight while the Bulls host the Mavericks. The news is a service of Amazon. Amazon is raising the bar on wages. Amazon's U.S. employees now earn at least $15 an hour in the Chicago area. Learn more and apply at amazon.com/Chicago jobs. Amazon's an equal opportunity employer. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Famous Winston Churchill quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
In reference to the Nazis, Winston Churchill stated, "An appeaser is one who feeds a crocodile hoping it will eat him last." That wisdom certainly proved true.
It's important we support companies that share our conservative values. If you are a manufacturer, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. As a software and systems integration company, Automated Systems creates custom solutions to make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. It doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 500 or a startup, Automated Systems delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you, man, to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit automatedsys.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI.
Our price is a mystery when you buy your diabetes test strips. Skip the guessing game and sign up for the AccuCheck Guide Simple Pay program at simplepaysaves.com, where you'll know you're paying the same low price on quality test strips every time. Exclusions apply. Visit simplepaysaves.com.
7:07 and a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonti.
Edens Expressway outbound. Scattered delays from Montrose to Skokie Road. There's a crash there in the left lane. Several vehicles involved. About 23 minutes Montrose to Lake Cook. Inbound now fine at 19. Inbound Kennedy. Scattered delays. It's 42 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 18 from Montrose. 15 in the Express. Outbound 46 minutes downtown to O'Hare. 190 has delays in both directions at the airport. On Eisenhower, delays kick in at 25th Avenue. 44 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 37. Mount Stevenson, 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38. Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State delays, Plainfield Road to 31st, and from Reagan Tollway most of the way to Balmoral. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Madison Baggett.
Today, mostly cloudy and cold with a high 35. Colder night tonight with clouds breaking, a low of 19. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high 30. Then a clear and cold night tomorrow night with a low 20. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
29 at O'Hare, 35 along the lakefront, and 27 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan, and in for Amy J. this morning, John Cass of the Chicago Tribune. And obviously the California wildfires and the death and destruction they have wrought have somewhat muted our discussion of that horrific shooting at the country bar in Thousand Oaks, California. That mass shooting combined with a change in the balance of power, both at the federal level and at a lot of state levels. Democrats picking up half a dozen governorships, about a half a dozen state legislative chambers, in addition to, of course, Speaker Pelosi over the top in the House. What does that mean for two-way rights? Where are the Democrats going to go after spending a lot of the money that Tom Steyer and Michael Bloomberg cobbled together for them, casting conservative Republicans, all Republicans really, as
mass murderers?
Well, at least as sympathetic to school shooters and the like.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw those commercials here throughout the Chicagoland area against Ruscom and Holmgren, and even at the state legislative level. For more on that topic, we're pleased to be joined again by our friend John Lott Jr., president of the Crime Prevention Research Center, the author of a number of books, including The War on Guns and More Guns, Less Crime. John, thanks for being with us again. Appreciate it.
Good morning. Good to talk to you both.
So to my question, I opened with the balance of power and what that means for Second Amendment rights.
I mean, I'm sure you're right. The Wall Street Journal had a large article over the weekend about different plans in the states where Democrats have taken over state legislatures or gotten governorships or obviously Congress, where they're planning some of the first bills that they're going to put out at the beginning of the year are going to be new gun control bills. I just wish they would do something that was actually relevant to the types of attacks that have, gotten people upset, as they should. They want to go and push for universal background checks. I mean, I guess I would just ask, can you point to one mass public shooting this century that would have been stopped if those laws had been in effect and had been effective? There's not one. They want to talk about banning certain types of semi-automatic guns based upon how they look. We've tried that. We've done that. Different states do that. There's been lots of academic research on that. You just don't see a benefit from it. But, on the other hand, here we have yet another mass public shooting this last week in California, which is at yet another gun-free zone. If you're a concealed carry permit holder in California, California is one of the 11 states that ban concealed carry permit holders from carrying in places like bars, whether they drink or not. People kind of poo-poo the president's comments after the synagogue massacre in Pittsburgh, but you had another place that didn't have anybody with guns. They essentially banned any of the congregants from being able to go and have guns. They had security guards at high holidays, but the rest of the year they didn't have protection there because of financial obligations. The one thing that would be important in these cases is to have somebody there quickly to go and stop these attackers. And, when you're talking about issues like mental illness or what have you that we're focused on, we have yet another attack this last week in California where the person had previously seen a mental health care professional who had decided that the person was not a danger to himself or others. Over 60% of the mass public shootings in the last 20 years, the people were actually seeing mental health care professionals within at least just a few months of the attack. And in none of those cases was the killer identified as a danger to themselves or others.
Is there something wrong? Is there something wrong with the reporting, with the approach that mental health professionals take?
Well, it's just very hard to go and identify these individuals. People with mental illness on average tend to be less violent than the general population. They also tend to be more likely to be victims of violent crime. And there's a whole academic literature that exists there in psychology and psychiatry about how difficult it is when you're talking about just, an incredibly tiny number. So you look at schizophrenia. There are about 2.5 million people that have schizophrenia in the country. You're talking about, over the last 20 years, 2 people, even broadly, could have been defined as having schizophrenia who engaged in these attacks. You look at other types of mental illness. You're talking about really tiny percentages that are involved that do these things, and it's just so small. The mental health care people say that they just aren't very good at identifying these people. They're the first ones to admit it, that they have an extremely difficult job and not very accurate in identifying these people.
What about red flag laws? We've had those proposed. They sound good. Maybe they would be effective in certain instances, but there appear to be some pitfalls too. There was a case in Maryland last week that we discussed where a neighbor called the police on his neighbor. They show up to serve him with a warrant to search the house, remove the guns, and he gets into an altercation with police with a gun. This individual handled it as badly as you could handle it and put the police in jeopardy. So this is not blaming the police, and maybe the neighbor was right, but to call the police on this guy. But there was no criminal history that has been reported. Police initiate, and it winds up with this guy being killed. If the context was a little bit different, and perhaps the racial composition of the participants a little bit different, the story would probably get a lot of different coverage. And so the red flag laws where you turn people into civilian police, as it were.
Look, you already can take away guns from people, but you have to in most states and in the past, you've had to go through a legal process where there's a hearing and evidence is presented. What the red flag laws do is it makes it so you don't have to have that type of hearing, that you don't have to have mental health care experts be involved in the process at all. But, here's some of my concerns with regard to beyond kind of the due process issues. And that is, if you really believe that somebody's a danger to themselves or others, you really ought to consider involuntarily committing them. Simply going and taking away their legal guns isn't a serious response. I mean, let's put it this way. We ban illegal drugs. Do you believe that people can't get those if they want to get them? And the same source for illegal drugs, the drug dealers are sources for illegal guns. The drug dealers are the major source of illegal guns. And so, if you really think that the guy's a danger, just saying we're going to take away your legal guns is no more serious than saying we're going to stop you from getting drugs by making them illegal. And the thing is also, there's so many different types of ways that people can harm others. Are you going to include taking away the driver's license from people? Because they could go and drive a car down the sidewalk in Chicago and kill people if they're really going to do this. Why only focus on guns here? But in a couple of times where people have tried to put amendments on these red flag laws that would go and try to make them take away other things like their driving privileges or something like that, or to go and try to set up a process for them being involuntarily committed, the proponents of these red flag laws will fight vigorously against any of those types of things.
You've been on this show and others in Chicago talking about this subject, but I remember years ago you were run out of town. You were in Chicago, teaching at the University of Chicago. You were run out of town by Rich Daley. Is that my take on that? Is that correct?
Yeah, it was an interesting story. I was at the University of Chicago Law School. I had a visiting position there. My book, More Guns, Less Crime, came out in May 1998. And in November 1998, Mayor Daley called up Hugo Sonnenschein, who was the president of the University of Chicago at the time, and went through all the wonderful things that the city wanted to do with the school. And at the end of the conversation, though, he said that Lott's continued presence at the University of Chicago was going to do, quote, irreparable harm between the relationship between the city and the school. And 2 days later, I get called into the dean's office. He apologizes for having to have me in there. but said that the president of the university wants me out because of the damage that because I've been doing media a lot that year when my book came out. I mean, it was a University of Chicago press book of all ironies. And I won't go through the whole details, but basically, because they wanted me to leave, they paid me through the rest of the year, but they wanted to end my affiliation with the university immediately.
Yeah.
And the deal we worked out was that I'd promised not to talk to the press for the remaining of the academic year. In exchange, they'd let me stay around. And so if you kind of look that year, I basically stopped doing media in November. You know, it's like cold stop, radio silent. And but I kept on getting calls from the Wall Street Journal like every few weeks. Max Boot would call me up, and so finally in March, I started writing some op-eds. But I figured, would they really, like with 2 months to go, fire me because I wrote an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal? I convinced myself. But anyway, I was gone. I ended up going to Yale Law School after that. But, you know, anyway, I could...
Yeah, well,
anyway,
it's nice to know Chicago believes in freedom of speech.
Hey, look, it's when we finally got rid of John Lott, all our problems went away, and Chicago's become the safest city in the country, as everybody knows, John. You know, I'm sorry we had to do it.
Well, I'm glad I could help out on that.
Yeah. He is John Lott Jr. A great story about how the Chicago way, Chicago, the city that works and all that. John Lott Jr., president of the Crime Prevention Research Center, author of a number of books. We're not afraid to say on the air. The War on Guns, More Guns, Less Crime. John, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being there. Thanks.
And join us on the Turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chris Veldman of ServiceMaster DSI, the largest ServiceMaster franchise in the United States and a customer of Signature Bank. In our business, we respond to disaster, and we never know when disaster will strike, whether it's flooding in Louisiana or a house fire in Chicago. Not all banks understand that need for flexibility, but Signature Bank does. That's why we consider them so much more than a bank. They have been our business partner since 2006, when their three co-founders, Mick, Kevin, and Brian, started the bank. Signature Bank is a key part of our growth strategy at ServiceMaster DSI.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Did you know that studies have shown that we need over 10 servings of fruits and veggies every single day? If you're like me, it's hard to find the time and money to prepare and eat all of those fruits and vegetables. Who can do that? Yet we know that proper nutrition can prevent health problems, give us energy, and help us heal faster. Balance of Nature has spent over 20 years researching and delivering solutions to this problem. We can ensure that you consume over 30 different fruits and veggies every single day. Our capsules are filled with 100% real whole foods. There isn't a single thing added to Balance of Nature products. They're pure. We spent an incredible amount of time on the quality of our products. We do this for you. We do it for our own families. Give yourself a break and give your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Email phishing attacks cost businesses billions annually in real cash, data loss, and brand damage. Phishing emails are hard to detect because the messages appear to be legitimate to unsuspecting employees. Introducing Barracuda Phishline, a groundbreaking cloud-based solution designed to help employees recognize sophisticated email phishing attacks through interactive training reinforced by continuous simulation. Transform your employees from a liability into a line of defense. Go to barracuda.com/PL to learn more.
I used to post to job boards that sent me tons of resumes.
Just to find a few people who were right for my job.
That old process was not smart.
Then I went to ZipRecruiter.
Its technology scans resumes for me to find the right people.
And actively invites them to apply. So I get qualified candidates fast. Smart.
See why ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. Try it now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Based on Trustpilot rating of hiring sites with over 1,000 reviews.
It's so nice now that the kids are asleep.
Cheers.
We got the kids, our house, a stable income.
Checking off all the boxes.
But there's one box we haven't checked off.
What's that?
Life insurance.
We don't need to think about that now. We're young.
That's why now is the best time. Life insurance gets more expensive the older you get.
But I don't have time to do a blood test. It's such a hassle to meet with someone just to get a quote.
Not with Ethos.
Ethos?
It's a modern kind of life insurance. You just answer 4 quick questions at getethos.com and get a free instant quote. No pushy salespeople. And no medical exams required for policies covering under $1 million. You can apply online in just 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Let's do it.
But then what will we do for the rest of the night?
I'm sure we can think of something.
Get your free instant quote and submit your complete application in minutes. Just go to getethos.com. That's ETHOS. Getethos.com. Getethos.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and John Cass in for Amy J this morning, and Saturday Night Live walked it back over the weekend. Pete Davidson, he's the, I guess, former boyfriend of Ariana Grande. John, of course, you know, you still read your Us Weeklies.
Yeah, I do, and people. And yeah, he loved her, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, that's a good summary, yeah.
Right.
Well, he, of course, made national news last week in advance of the election, talking about weird-looking people running for office, and included Dan Crenshaw, Republican running for Congress in Texas, who won, who wears an eye patch because in one of his many tours of duty in Afghanistan, an IED blew up and took his eye. And he was making he made fun of him. He was very flippant about it. Well,
Davidson was.
And Crenshaw, I thought, handled it perfectly, too. Like, I don't need an apology. You know, what is the point of getting some insincere apology from Saturday Night Live? Well, this is how Saturday Night Live went on Saturday night with Pete Davidson starting the apology.
So, and what I'm sure was a huge shock for people who know me, I made a poor choice last week. I did. I made a joke about Lieutenant Commander Dan Crenshaw. Dan Crenshaw, and on behalf of the show and myself, I apologize. My poor mom. Can you imagine being my mom? Can you imagine being my mom? That must suck. Can you imagine being Pete Davidson's mom? It can't be easy when everyone's mad at your son and roommate. No, but I mean this from the bottom of my heart. It was a poor choice of words. The man is a war hero, and he deserves all the respect in the world. And if any good came of this, maybe it was that for one day, the left and the right finally came together to agree on something. That I'm a dick.
You think?
Enter Dan Crenshaw.
With the eye patch.
With the eye patch. And then their interaction together on set went like this.
Lieutenant Commander Dan Crenshaw, everyone, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for making a Republican look good.
You gotta stop saying that, man. You've been saying it all day. Please. Look, I just wanted to say, for people that don't know, the reason you're wearing an eye patch right now is that you lost your eye to an IED in Afghanistan during your 3rd combat tour. And I'm sorry.
Thank you, Pete. I appreciate you saying that.
So we good?
We're good. Apology accepted.
Just keep breathing.
It sounds like my phone's ringing.
You gonna answer that?
No, and I was just going to let it ring because that's rude to answer. Let's just let it go to voicemail.
No, it's cool.
As a fan of Ariana Grande, John, of course, you know it was an Ariana Grande song.
Of course I did.
And his ringtone, yeah. That was funny. It was pretty funny.
It was funny.
And Crenshaw showed a good sense of humor.
He did, but I wouldn't talk to him.
You wouldn't talk to Davidson. You wouldn't have done the bit.
I mean, I'm not a Navy SEAL. I never served in the military. I didn't go to Tufts and then go to the Navy.
Right.
The man's a very amazing and impressive resume. You say that talk like that about veterans, I just turn you off. It's really, what I do is I turn away. And then you're not in my universe, you're not in my life, you're not in my experience.
Well,
I'm gone.
I don't necessarily disagree with that, but the flip side is Dan Crenshaw, who's now a congressman, turned this to his advantage, like any Navy SEAL would, and he demonstrated incredible political savvy, too, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And he ended with a serious message. Then he got the stage by himself and ended with a serious message about Veterans Day and a particularly classy move with respect to Pete Davidson, who was very unclassy last week.
There's a lot of lessons to learn here. Not just that the left and right can still agree on some things, but also this: Americans can forgive one another. We can remember what brings us together as a country and still see the good in each other. This is Veterans Day weekend, which means that it's a good time for every American to connect with a veteran. Maybe say thanks for your service, but I would actually encourage you to say something else. Tell a veteran, never forget. When you say never forget to a veteran, you are implying that as an American, you are in it with them. Not separated by some imaginary barrier between civilians and veterans, but connected together as grateful fellow Americans who will never forget the sacrifices made by veterans past and present, and never forget those we lost on 9/11, heroes like Pete's father. So I'll just say, Pete, never forget.
Never forget. And that is for both of us.
Yeah, Pete Davidson's father, a firefighter, died in 9/11, so nice way to wrap it up. I thought Crenshaw forwarded himself well, and Pete Davidson maybe rescued his career. Coming up at 7:37, what to do about suburban women? We'll ask noted
Dan Proft.
We'll ask noted suburban female spokesman John Cass. But now we check the headlines with Mike Scott.
The latest on the Hill Fire in California's Ventura County. Good morning, everyone. 31 degrees and cloudy skies, and that Hill Fire 75% contained. Officials this morning say the blaze in the Santa Rosa Valley has burned more than 4,500 acres. But the tragedy continues with the Camp Fire, charring Northern California. 31 lives have been claimed. And in a news conference late last night, Butte County Sheriff Corey Honig is saying 6 additional bodies were discovered yesterday in Paradise, California.
Those remains recovered today were located in Paradise. 5 of them were in homes. 1 was in a vehicle.
Fire officials say that blaze has burned 111,000 acres and is only 25% contained. Republican Florida Governor Rick Scott says his Senate challenger, Democrat Bill Nelson, is a sore loser and is trying to commit fraud to win the election.
His lawyer said that a non-citizen should vote. He's gone to trial and said that fraudulent ballots should be counted. Ballots have already been thrown out because they were not done properly. He said those should be counted.
And in Georgia, Stacey Abrams is filing suit to try and push back certification of the Georgia gubernatorial election, which she has lost. The FAA having to step in this morning to make changes to its overnight staffing policies following an incident at Nevada's McCarran International Airport. Officials there say an air traffic controller became incapacitated while on duty last week. And as you hear, her speech was slurred and unintelligible.
Drawing 1069, you're concerned about what?
I'm sorry, say again for Spirit 1069.
Spirit 1069, stand by on the spot.
No safety incidents were reported. The FAA is not saying how that controller was reported incapacitated. Air traffic recordings reveal pilots were having major difficulty understanding her instructions for simple takeoff and landing. An investigation is underway after a security guard was shot and killed by a Midlothian police officer at a bar in Robbins. The incident happened yesterday. Police investigating after a car crashes into the new under-construction police station in Arlington Heights. The Georgia man driving that car was hospitalized and remains this morning in critical condition. Bargain hunters in Springfield and Chicago may want to try and find that local Kmart, one of the few that remains open. Store managers say liquidation sales will begin this week. Those stores are set to close in February. Bears over the Lions 34-22. Blackhawks take on Carolina tonight, and the Bulls host the Mavericks. The news, a service of Eggland's Best Organic Eggs. Only the best for your family. Going organic? Then go with the best. Eggland's Best Organic Eggs. More farm fresh taste and 100% organic quality. Superior nutrition, too, for your family. It should be Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. 7:35, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains the left's ideal situation.
Remember Nancy Pelosi? Didn't she say that once, where we could sit back and write poetry and compose music? This is the ideal, that somehow you will be fed, clothed, and housed without actually doing anything. It's character destroying, socialism.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
On AM 560, The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
If you're self-employed and purchase your own health insurance, I have some good news. From now until December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition, and depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. And this year, thanks to President Trump, if you're healthy and your income is too high to qualify for a subsidy, there is a new and competitive non-Obamacare marketplace where premiums are much lower and the PPO networks include access to our teaching hospitals in Chicago. Employers who provide small group coverage also have new options, and so do seniors looking for Medicare supplement coverage. Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. Your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for 7 years. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551.
7:38. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Metro reports delays on the Rock Island line due to mechanical problems and on the North Central line due to manpower issues. Kennedy, 30 minutes O'Hare to downtown, about an hour and 5 minutes. Jam Diversity to 190 airport traffic. Aiden's 19 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 44 with a crash at Skokie Road down on the right shoulder. About Eisenhower, 42 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 44. On Stevenson, jammed Harlem to Western, crashed the two left lanes, hour and 14 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40 minutes. The Ryan, 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. All clear on I-57 to Bishop Ford. North on Tri-States, though, Ogden to 31st at Roosevelt to Balmoral. Northbound Veterans Memorial, Roosevelt to North Avenue. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, cloudy and cold today. Will top out near 35. Currently 31. Your next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan. And in for Amy J this morning is the equally leggy John Cass. John, you're...
I just sit here and listen to your insults. And then
insults?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, do you think that
Don't talk about my body. It's my mind that counts, man.
There's no question.
Right.
You're known to be a suburban women whisperer. You know how suburban women think.
Usually I just shut up and go watch, Game of Thrones when they start.
Safety first.
Politics.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
play it safe.
Scotch and soda and bye. Yeah.
Going back to this think piece in Vogue, why do white women keep voting for the GOP and against their own interests? Michelle Ruiz observes, as sure as black women have proven themselves to be the often underappreciated backbone of the Democratic Party, white women voters are establishing themselves as maddeningly, confusingly unsisterly.
This is
why
the left's
why
version.
So unsisterly?
Oh, because the next is to say they're not really women. Okay, but this is Kristen McQuarrie of the Chicago Tribune, friend of your show and friend of mine, wrote a piece just on October 29th about this, about the year of the woman, the Me Too, etc. Basically, it's all about women unless you're conservative. Then you need not apply. And all this stuff is about shaming. It's just shaming. This is the left's way. Shame. That's how they work.
Well, right.
And it's about shaming women into, hurting them to be voted a certain way.
It works for the upper crust, college-educated suburban mom. That's why they do it, and they're doubling down. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Why are you middle-income white women? I mean, they want to play racial politics. I guess I have to ask the question. Why are you middle-income white women so unsisterly? I want to know.
Yeah,
Michelle Ruiz said it, so it's got to be true. It's in Vogue, for goodness sakes.
They must hate themselves and their families and everyone else, right?
And,
that's the only logical thing I can, that's the extension of it.
No, here's what it is. And this goes for men, too.
Men the record show that his gaze lingered upon me for too long, in terms of how men relate. But
I wanted to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because you're part of the problem. Talking about middle income or working class men as well. You know what the problem is, these people?
We're men. We don't believe we're women.
Ignorant.
Ah.
You know why? You know how I know you're ignorant? No college degree. It turns out, this is an interesting little data point from Tuesday's election, and you want to talk about two Americas. The narrative the left obsesses about red states and blue states. Let's dig a little deeper, shall we? Democrats hold 81% of House districts with the highest shares of bachelor's degree. Republicans hold 60% of the House districts with the lowest share of bachelor's degrees. Democrats, 81% of districts with the highest shares of bachelor's degrees. Republicans, 60% of House districts with the lowest shares of bachelor's degrees. In addition to that, more than half the seats, mentioned this previously, mentioned again in context here. Let's talk education level and household income. More than half the seats the Democrats picked up on Tuesday are in the top 50 richest counties in the country. So the smart, highly educated rich people are Democrats because they're smart and highly educated. They know what time it is. And you, unwashed masses like John Cass, without the college degrees.
I don't have one.
Without the summer homes.
I don't have one.
Without the fancy foreign car.
I don't have one.
Who do not attend Steppenwolf at least 3 times a month.
I do not.
Who do not.
But I do go to JC's Pub, which is good. It's kind of like a good place to hang.
You sicken me.
In McCook.
Who do not have "Hate has no home here" signs in their front lawn.
Will not fly one.
You're the problem. Why don't you wise up and follow the lead of your more educated, richer betters?
If I only were smart, I would suggest people should have read that novel by Kurt Vonnegut years ago, Player Piano, about the engineers and the managers on one side and the proletariats on the other. And if I was really smart, I would suggest that the people screaming fascism the loudest are those who are wedded into government and power through the Democratic Party. Because you have the upper middle class vesting itself into the Democratic Party and the government at the expense of the unwashed proletariat.
So what I hear
that is what fascism is.
So what I hear you saying is that...
But I'm not smart because I didn't go to college.
Right. Maybe the people that are more educated than you, that are smarter than you by definition, the richer people, maybe they're pseudo-intellectual dilettantes.
Maybe.
Uh-huh. And maybe we've had generations of kids now.
Sentimental barbarians as well.
Indeed. Maybe we've had generations of kids now who've been indoctrinated with, as the old saying goes, really old these days, with ideas so idiotic only an academic could believe them, like postmodernism and intersectionality. Maybe that has poisoned the gray matter of those who go on to get jobs in blue chip law firms and accounting firms and so on and so forth, and make a decent living and have the credentials, and that's about it.
Yes, that's about it, Dan.
312-642-5600, Turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, Turnkey.pro text line. We'll take calls from any of you non-college educated slobs
I want to hear
that are not independently wealthy.
You know, they're hateful. They're probably nationalists, too. They care about their families, their children over others. I just can't imagine they could even exist in this world.
I'd love to hear from a Caston voter, from an Underwood voter, from a Madigan suburban voter.
A Mendoza.
Sure.
Mendoza tribal voter.
Yes. But again, any of you slobs, you knuckle-dragging Neanderthals who don't have a college education, will entertain your ignorance, so to try and cure you of it. Just 312-642-5600, Turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, Turnkey.pro text line. Will in Skokie.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm sorry I don't fit your description. I have a master's degree, but it's in a real subject, physics.
But you're not a woman.
Is that, pardon?
You're not a woman, Phil. I mean, are you?
Well,
no.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
The point I'm trying to make is that all of this stuff that they're studying now, the intersectionality, the gender studies, diversity, transsexualism, all this stuff, you have to remember that the stuff they're coming out with these studies, they're not actual scientific studies. They're merely conjectures. There's no way you can actually do an experiment that would match this. So calling them social sciences is really a misnomer. All this stuff is just theory. It's just something somebody came up with and is spouting it, but it's not been proven in any way, shape, or form. And to a great extent, it can't be proven. But yet, it is. They keep saying that the Republicans are into dividing the country. Well, identity politics is nothing but division. The same thing with intersectionality. It's nothing but division. It brings us more and more divided and fighting amongst ourselves. So we have to sit there and look at them in the eyes and say, look, your theories of transgenderism and all this other stuff, they're crazy. They're stupid. They don't have any validity. They're not been proven.
Yeah, all right.
That's my rant. Thank you.
Thanks for the well. Now get back into studying your laws of thermodynamics or whatever it is you do.
Cartesian leaps.
Yeah. All right. Why so unsisterly, Deborah, Arlington Heights? Why so unsisterly?
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm everything you described. I'm a white suburban woman. I don't have a college education. It doesn't mean that I'm not wise, which I think I am in some things. I feel men and women are both important in the mix. I don't think that women should be taking over. I think we get equal work for equal pay, absolutely. But the destruction of the family and the platform that the left supports, I can't support any of those things. So I guess I would just be the enemy that believes in men and women that God created.
So you embrace the hateful racism of your class?
No, I don't think that I'm the racist. I think that when the left says I'm all about diversity and inclusion, that's anything but true. That's if you walk in lockstep. If you are a white woman, for example, that does not vote liberally, you are the enemy. So what's the diversity and inclusion piece that's in that?
Why do you think the shaming works so well? The shaming of upper income suburban women works so well. The left's shaming of them.
Well, I think the feminist, so to speak, movement had a lot to do with that, and it's about shaming, like John said. It's about shaming somebody. It's about minimizing, how you think. It's about if you don't think like us, then you are part of the problem, not part of the solution. And people feel like they have to be part of that, or somehow as a woman, I'm betraying women because I won't support those sorts of things. And that's anything but true as far as I'm concerned. I support women, but I also support men. I have a son, and I have a daughter, and I'm not going to minimize either of them. Both of them are important in humanity. And, because I believe in God and that God created us and everything around us, that's where I'm looking at it from. And that's also being the enemy, because we live in a secular world.
Thanks for the call, Deborah. I mean, here's the other thing. Well, maybe it's conservative women like Deborah. Maybe should they employ the same tactic? I mean, it seems to me like we haven't learned any of the lessons from all of the John Hughes coming-of-age movies. So because conservatives haven't learned to stand up to the cliques, liberals haven't faced any consequences for the shaming, and so it works. The shaming and the shunning culture.
Well, how do they shame back? They could start by saying, I looked at all these stories about women, the year of the women, year of the woman that was, the elections, and I see all these faces, beautiful faces of diverse crews. I did not see young Kim in those pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that? Young Kim, woman,
Korean American,
Republican, Korean American first, nothing, because she doesn't count to them. She doesn't count. But how could they flip it?
Be less polite at cocktail parties. Be less quiet at PTA meetings and the soccer or the baseball game. You want to come at me with your nonsense and your name calling, then I'm going to come right back at you. And oh, by the way, I've got some girlfriends that are going to make sure that you're on the outs. Make sure that you're doing things that are ignorant, anti-intellectual, anti-reason, anti-civility. You're throwing in with a mob that had Tucker Carlson's wife cowering in her pantry waiting for the police to arrive because somebody was hurtling themselves against his front door. That's you. How about that conversation at the Little League game?
I'd like it.
Lisa in St. Charles.
Hi, good morning. I get insulted every time the media says, all white women are Democratic. I happen to be educated, but I feel like my education and my life experience just makes me the person I am. And I am insulted when they say that we're all in, if you will, lockstep with the Democrats, because I'm very conservative, very pro-life, and many of my friends are. So there's not all Democrats, or I guess liberal Democrats who are women in Illinois. There are many conservatives.
Thanks, Lisa.
Men, we don't know what we did.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hey, if you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, then dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what are you waiting for? Find out now if implants are for you. Successful implants don't come from an implant factory. Skill, treatment, installation, those are the main differences for successful lifelong implants. That's why you need to see Dr. Neruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Neruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants themselves. You need the experience, the skill, and honesty that over 25 years of dental implants brings, and you're going to be happy with your implant. It's not a mass production procedure because everyone is different. And Dr. Neruzzi wants to talk to you about dental implants today.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics at 630-232-7400. They're online at implantsforme.com.
Here's another Turnkey IT happy client.
Hi, this is Joe from Packaging Personified. We're a manufacturer of flexible packaging located in Carroll Stream, Illinois, and also just north of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Packaging Personified manufactures flexible packaging for the food industry and multiple other industries. We happen to be a 24-hour operation running 7 days a week, so we rely on our IT to be 100% solid. We were having a challenging time trying to get our infrastructure to be reliable. This is a problem we've had for some time, and we had gone to other providers and did not have the success we were hoping for. And that's when we found Turnkey IT. We're still in the process of expanding our network to support additional changes that we're making as we grow the business. And with Turnkey IT on our side, we can focus on our business, which is making packaging.
Your business can have great success too, with a full-time IT staff starting at $7.95 a month. From Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
The school year started just a short time ago, but it's not too late for your son or daughter to get the outstanding education and preparation for life that St. John's Northwestern Military Academy offers with their ongoing enrollment program. For years, St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has served young men and is now an excellent co-ed environment. Not a school for troubled kids, but one that will prepare young men and women for college by focusing on rigorous academics and leadership with a safe, secure, and structured environment free from distractions that's conducive to successful learning. St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in the beautiful Lake Country region of southeast Wisconsin inspires personal growth through a commitment to excellence in academics, spiritual, and character development, athletics, and their military traditions. And there's still time to enroll your son or daughter for this school year. Call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
My number two does not look like a number two. I don't know what to call it. Is there a number three?
Table for 4, please. Anything close to the restroom.
A middle seat with these stomach problems? That's my fear of flying.
Sound like you? If it does, you could be one of the many people with a digestive condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms: frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain. If you have even just one of these symptoms, you could still have EPI, because not everybody experiences EPI the same way, which is why it's so important to open up to your doctor about all your symptoms. And the good news is, EPI is manageable. So don't keep a lid on it. Go to identifyepi.com, complete the symptom checker, and use it to have a conversation with your doctor. Don't keep a lid on it. Visit identifyepi.com. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
This stuff is the best stuff I've ever taken. I don't take any medicine. I take nothing. If I get a little scratchy throat or even a headache, I take the vegetables. It works very fast. Or I'm feeling like a little down, tired, I take 3 of them, 4 of them, and I'm right up back to where I was. It's unreal how this stuff works, and I rave about it. This guy's a genius when it comes down to it. If anyone's skeptical about taking something, I get it. There's thousands of products out there. Look, you can be confident in this because the one thing that makes me really, really happy about is that you guys make the capsule out of a plant-based product. It's not crap. It's real food, like you would put on the dinner table.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Chicago.
What's happening? What does it mean? Why is it important? We've got the answer. AM 560, The Answer. WIND.
They keep searching
Chicago.
for wildfire victims in Northern California. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
10 coroner teams are now on the ground searching for bodies as 228 people are still unaccounted for.
That's Andre Sr. with Fox 2 TV in Butte County, where a still raging fire has matched the deadliest one in state history, killing 29 people, torching 6,700 homes and buildings. As for the missing,
the Butte County Sheriff says some may be in shelters, but says there are challenges in verifying that information through the Red Cross.
Another fire west of LA's burned areas of Malibu to the south, killing 2 more people, torching nearly 200 houses. They're counting all the votes again in Florida amid lawsuits trying to settle Senate and governor's races. Fox's Evan Brown live where there's a lot of scrutiny. Broward County.
Yeah, Dave, and Republican Senate candidate Rick Scott, who's also the current governor, says Broward's election supervisor Brenda Snipes' office hasn't been open about where found ballots came from and that they haven't complied with court orders.
Didn't let in party officials to observe. We know that there was no transparency. They're supposed to tell us where all this was coming from, when, how many ballots, all these things.
They're having similar issues in Palm Beach County. This machine recount is supposed to be completed by Thursday, but if it produces no winners, they'll proceed with a recount by hand, Dave.
Evan, President Trump tweeted that since an honest vote count's no longer possible, wanting the election to be called for Republicans Rick Scott and Ron DeSantis. The State Elections Division, Department of Law Enforcement have said there's no evidence of fraud. The president is back from a weekend in France, marking the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I.
Through rain, hail, snow, mud, poisonous gas, bullets, and mortar, they held the line and pushed onward to victory.
France's president seemed to take a swipe at the president by saying nationalism is a betrayal of patriotism.
By saying, our interests first, who cares about the others? We erase what a nation holds dearest, what gives it life, what makes it grace.
This is Fox News.
Clouds are beginning to thin. We'll call it fair conditions. 31 degrees across Chicagoland at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. There is an investigation underway after a security guard was shot and killed by Midlothian police at a bar in Robbins. The incident happened yesterday while officers were responding to a shooting at Manny's Blue Room Bar on South Clare Boulevard. Authorities say the officer entered that bar and shot Jamel Roberson after noticing he was armed with a gun. 4 others in the bar suffered gunshot wounds and were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police are investigating after a car crashed into the brand-new under-construction police station in Arlington Heights. Officers responding to that accident yesterday found a car through the wall of the new police facility. The Georgia man driving that car remains hospitalized this morning in critical condition. No one is in custody after 2 men were wounded in a shooting. It happened inside of a fast food restaurant on Chicago's South Side late last night near 71st and State. Chicago sports. Bears beat the Lions 34-22 at Soldier Field. Blackhawks looking to end their 7-game losing skid when they play Carolina tonight, and the Bulls are hosting the Mavericks. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, liquor company Diageo is selling 19 brands and will focus on its premium labels. MarketWatch says the company will sell Seagram's VO, Myers Rum, Papa Vodka, and others. Canada's Aurora Cannabis stock is rallying before the market open. It reported earnings that topped $100 million. The company says the legalization of adult use in Canada has been very successful for the company. Stocks declined on Friday, partly because of weak economic information from China. However, over the weekend, China's answer to Amazon, Alibaba Group, reported record sales for its annual Singles Day sale. Singles Day started as a celebration for single people. Now it's a major shopping day. The Dow dropped 201 Friday. NASDAQ was down 123. S&P slipped 25. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Finally, all the shouting is over. We now have winners and losers. This election season seemed to be more difficult, contentious, and even painful than ever before. For all you winners, congratulations. For all you losers, you can always try again. For the American people, time to do as we always do. Come together and heal. Hey, life will go on. America is still the greatest, best hope for the world. If you don't believe it, just stick with us. We'll get you through. AM 560, The Answer.
If you did not purchase health insurance coverage during the 2017 open enrollment, I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan at any time during the year. This is Tom Marabali, your health insurance advocate and independent producer for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and other health insurance carriers. If you are between the ages of 19 and 64, you are automatically paying for maternity coverage whether you want the coverage or not. If you are a non-smoking 50-year-old male or female living in the city of Chicago, the monthly premium rate for a 100% tax-deductible health savings account PPO plan would be $590 per month. But I can show you how to eliminate the mandatory maternity benefit and lower your monthly premiums down to approximately $240 per month. To see if you qualify or for more information, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
Are you happy with what's looking back at you in the mirror? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we'd like to help you with that smile. Whether you're looking to fix 1 or 2 teeth or a whole smile makeover, we can take care of all your dental needs. We have a beautiful modern facility and a great staff. And most importantly, we love what we do. That's what sets us apart from other offices. Let's face it, a dental office is not everyone's favorite place. Whether you're 2 or 102, we make it fun and enjoyable. We perform all types of dentistry as well. Fillings, root canals, crowns, extractions, dentures, implants. We do most everything right in our office. And for you denture wearers, we have a full in-house denture lab and can perform repairs and relines while you wait. We can also talk about adding implants so your denture will snap into place or become screw retained. This is the closest option to natural teeth. We are conveniently located in Gurnee at the corner of Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. So make today the day you give us a call. 847-244-4000. That's 847-244-4000. Or visit us on the web at gurneedds.com. We look forward to seeing you, and remember, second opinions are always free. Excellence in dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
It's 8:08. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Metro reports delays and at least one cancellation on the Rock Island line this morning due to mechanical problems. Delays on the North Central line due to manpower issues. And CTA trains are standing in the loop at Library stop due to police activity. Eden's 19 minutes late Cook to Montrose outbound 42 after a crash at Skokie Road. Kennedy, 30 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 56. Heavy around O'Hare. Eisenhower, 42 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 52. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 39. Ryan, 18 minutes, 95 to downtown. Northbound Tri-State delays from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis. Roosevelt to Balmoral. Northbound Veterans Memorial, traffic sluggish. Butterfield to St. Charles. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center and our meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Mostly cloudy day today with a high 35. Clouds break at night, low 19. Partial sunshine tomorrow with a high 30, then a clear night, low 20. Another full day of sunshine for Wednesday, not as cold with a high 38. Mainly clear night, low 25. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560 The Answer.
31 at O'Hare. Next news 8:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Financial Planning with Jack Taboda, your 401k specialist, whose goal is to protect, preserve, and grow your wealth. Saturday mornings at 7.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan, and in for Amy this morning, Chicago Tribune columnist, upstart Chicago Tribune columnist, new kid on the scene, John Cass.
Whippersnapper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this week.
I want to discuss and gather your insights, John.
For free.
Illinois Republicans and Indiana Democrats. Two sides of the same coin, one would argue. I would. This interesting piece in the Indianapolis Star. How do Democrats in Indiana regroup? Is rebuilding even possible? Sound like familiar questions for Illinois Republicans? Tuesday's elections were an utter disaster for Democrats in Indiana. Let's survey the wreckage. With Donnelly's impending exit from the U.S. Senate, Democrats will give up their only statewide office. Republicans fill 9 of 11 spots in Indiana's congressional delegation, including both Senate seats. The GOP retains supermajorities in the Indiana House and Senate. Democrats last won the governor's office in 2000, and incumbent Governor Eric Holcomb is a heavy favorite to win re-election in 2 years. You know what this tells me? Move to Indiana. Mr. Swearens, Tim Swearens, the author of this piece, talks about a model that doesn't work anymore. The model Indiana Democrats have been trying to replicate for the better part of this century, the Evan Bayh, I'm not one of those Democrats formula. Much like the Rahnerites would have us replicate the I'm not one of those Republicans Rahner model. Do you see any symmetry there?
I see that when people don't stand up for what they believe in, generally they
I'm not one of those
hang
Republicans.
separately.
Yes, I'm not one of those Republicans who will actually act in furtherance of the things I say I believe. Okay. Just a little bit.
Are you telling me to move to Indiana? Because I've been fantasizing that I go to Indiana, live in a tiny house under the windmills of Rensselaer, drink bourbon, and scream at Illinois for ruining my state.
If you're talking about a tiny...
And I'm talking about everybody listening who voted Democratic state rep.
If you're talking about a tiny house in Rensselaer, if you're going to take... if you're going to do a comp, like how much you pay for your house here, and then do that in Indiana, you're going to be living in a palatial estate with about a eighth of the property tax burden. That's what actually would happen.
I just don't think I can live out there and still write about Chicago politics. I'll be shamed by the left.
What's the difference between being in the suburbs and being in the Northwest Indiana in terms of access to Chicago? And by the way, Mr. Swearens, Tim Swearens in the Indy Star?
Yeah. He lives in Chicago?
No, but they're not unaware of it. It's easy to see the problems in states and cities, parentheses, hello, Chicago, when one political party has far more power than the other for decades on end. We'd be foolish to believe we can avoid the same trappings of excess power when Democrats are in such disarray that they are no longer competitive in Indiana. I mean, the parallel between this conversation about Indiana Democrats and Illinois Republicans is striking, isn't it?
Through the looking glass.
Why should anybody care about Indiana Democrats? Just like why should anybody care about Illinois Republicans? We're blessed with a governmental system built on checks and balances. Corrective balance is achieved not only when the three branches of government keep one another in check, but also by our two-party system. And in Illinois, we have more Democrats in the General Assembly than we've ever had in the history of the nation.
Difference?
In the state,
Indiana Republican businessmen generally support Indiana Republicans. Illinois, the business leaders of Illinois generally think they're Republican or conservative, but they support the Khan of Madaganistan. That's how it works.
That's part of it. I think that's a good insight. Part of it.
Then you have the gang mentality of sort of like being back in high school where the kind of wimps want to hang with the alphas and they just rush over there. at their own expense, and they end up paying for it.
One keen observer of the Illinois political scene wrote this: after last week's elections, with outgoing Governor Bruce Rauner betraying his base and dragging the Republican ticket down to get skinned alive by Pritzker and Madigan, here's what I was left feeling about the state GOP: nothing, zip, nada. John Cass's words.
Yes, you hoist me with my own petard.
Well,
yes, of course, yes. That's
elaborate. You feel nothing? Does that mean you're numb or you're indifferent?
No. Now I'm getting to the indifference. I was angry years ago when Jim Thompson and Jim Edgar began playing footsie with Bill Cellini and Bob Shalander and destroying the party. And the big Republican government party became fashionable. And they all loved it because they were all making money. Everyone was making money, and it was the combine deal with the Democrats. Now I see the result. The final result is complete wasteland, capitulation, Madigan sitting on his throne of skulls, and Pritzker running around trying to buckle his sash to figure out how he's going to serve him. I have nothing for the Republicans now.
So
nothing.
So let me put the
they're
question.
Like an extinct. They're like a species about to be extinct. Like, what did I write about that fat manatee that got hunted out of existence? Like that.
Do you care about a Republican Party in Illinois? One existing. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. The question that Tim Swearens is asking of Indiana Democrats, can they rebuild? Should they rebuild? Why should we care? Apply those questions to the Illinois Republican Party and give me your answers. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. John Cass also writes that, there are a few Republicans who remain and still standing for something, but many of those who won narrow victories in the suburbs will kneel before Madigan's awesome power and let him bleed us. There's some predicate kneeling to be done, and
before Madigan draws the map and creates favorable congressional districts for one, maybe two Republicans that are in the state legislature now, and who will serve him. With fealty.
No, well, first of all, we're losing congressional seats in 2020.
Right.
But no, I'm saying predicate kneeling. Tomorrow night, both the House superminority leader and the Senate superminority leader, Durkin and Brady, these two welfare queens who've been there for 40 years combined.
Oh.
They've hastily assembled.
That's your characterization of them.
Well, that's right, and based on evidence. And that they have quickly assembled leadership votes because they want to strike while people are in disarray, and frankly, ballots are still being counted in suburban races where both chambers have other Republicans who are likely to fall, but they're focused, of course, on just protecting their phony baloney leadership positions because that's what this has always been about. So then you retain Durkin and you retain Brady and you retain former Cook County Commissioner Tim Schneider.
As what?
As state party chairman. So that if the response is that in the immediacy of this bloodbath on Tuesday, what does that say? How are they answering the question of interest in rebuilding the party, competing, existing?
They're good at that. They're good at, and again, I'm not, I don't loathe them as much as you do, but I would ask a question.
It's not
where are the conservatives? Why didn't you guys put together leadership and a competing leadership position?
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Where are they? Where are the conservatives?
There have been people that have been approached to challenge Durkin and to challenge Brady.
They don't want to.
They don't want to, and also there's a general ennui in the caucuses, those who are left. There's a lot of go-along, get-alongs. There's a lot of, regional idiocy. Brady's a downstate guy, so I'm a downstate guy, so I got to be with the downstate guy. Not exactly a substantive analysis. So it's going to be more of the same.
And
so what does more of the same get you? More of the same.
Cass goes to Indiana. I feel sorry for Indiana and all the other states because obviously many Illinoisans went to Wisconsin and flipped that state.
You know what's funny? What's funny is the self-regarding nature of people who have been who've presided over complete catastrophe. One, they look for scapegoats because, of course, it's never their fault, which is always a good sign of leadership.
It's you.
It's me. It's my fault.
It's
no,
your fault.
Every race we've lost in the last decade is my fault.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, fine. I'll accept responsibility. Now can we get on with it?
Yeah, right.
I'm happy to take responsibility. Sling all the arrows you want. Fire away. Make your preposterous arguments all day long. I find it hysterical. Go ahead. I'll own it. Sure, whatever. And now what are you going to do? You're the ones in charge. You're the ones with leadership titles. So what are you going to do? You guys have all the answers. You don't need anybody's help. You don't want anybody's help.
71 or two vote supermajority.
Oh,
it's Madigan, right? Or 73?
More like 70, 75, 76. So go ahead. Who's stopping you? Do your thing, man. Yeah, just like the last 4 years run. Do your thing. You know what's funny? Jim Durkin, the House Super Minority Leader, 20-year public servant for his legal business, muni law business.
And a neighbor of mine.
He enriches himself by leveraging his position, and we emphasize Madigan so much for doing so. We got to apply the standard across the board, don't we?
Burke, too.
Burke, too. I mean, on and on and on by that standard. But he thinks, he won his race by 12 points, 13 points in this bloodbath. I mean, he didn't get touched. Madigan wants to take him out. He could take him out. Jim Durkin thinks Madigan doesn't go after him because Madigan respects him. In actuality, Madigan doesn't go after him because he wants Jim Durkin to be the House Super Minority Leader. He wants these guys in charge. And the same thing with Cullerton. It's nice when you can pick your opponents.
It's all, listen, to me, the bottom line of all this is the oligarchs. A few segments ago, we talked about the richest counties in the country and their Democratic counties, right? Same kind of thing applies here in Illinois. You have the people who with the money, oligarchs, and the wealthy suburban women, etc., all banding together into one crew. Against who? Against who? Guys who work for a living, might not be fancy, and are getting taxed out of existence. That's what's happening. Sickening.
Feel
like spitting.
Take a few calls. Aru in Naperville here on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Aaron.
Yep.
Yeah, hi. So I've been doing campaigning work for the DuPage County Republicans, and this is what I noticed. A lot of women that I spoke to, they don't like Madigan. They like lower property tax. They don't like recreational marijuana. They are for term limits. But at the same time, they voted Democrat because they don't like Trump. And part of the reason, I think, is a good percentage of them read New York Times, read Washington Post, watch CNN, and watch NBC. So they're getting constantly brainwashed by the media. So even though this midterm election was not about Trump, they cast their vote Democratic because they don't like Trump.
Yeah, here's the problem though, Aru, and I appreciate the call. But it's not enough. That's a half the story at most.
That's the shaming part.
Because I'm sorry, there are wealthy suburban families in Cleveland and Cincinnati, and throughout Florida as well. And the 20% increase in turnout this midterm election in Ohio and Florida and the other state we were just talking about, Indiana, where there are also wealthy suburbanites, that meant Republican victories.
But you have to have Republican leadership, Dan.
That's the local issue, which we keep avoiding. And, of course, the local people with leadership titles want to keep avoiding. They want to put this all on Trump or conservatives, me, et cetera, because they're in charge of a long-running minority, really super minority, but it's not their fault. And how much confidence does that approach to leadership inspire? It's not their fault, number one, and we're going to keep doing things the same way, number two.
We need Robert the Bruce to unite the Barons.
Brian in Woodridge. Brian. Hey, Brian.
Hello.
Yep, you're on.
Yes. I'm here. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. It's going to implode in on itself. The debt is going to be astronomical. We're going to be paying 10%. The pension debt's going to come crashing down, and this was all planned in the beginning. That they knew the federal government's going to back it up and take over the debt.
All right, thanks for the call, Brian. The federal government is not going to back it up. We're not going to be bailed out. That is fantasy land stuff. I don't know why people can continue to believe that's going to happen. What will actually happen is everybody's going to get hammered, including public sector pensioners.
They're going to get hurt the worst.
See Detroit for a look into your future, and it will be distributed unevenly, and it will not happen all at once. When is it going to happen? It's happening. When your home is being liquidated, when you hear the stories that we've told and you share these stories with your neighbors, you hear the stories from your neighbors and friends of losing 6, and in some cases, depending on the locale, 7 figures on your home when you go to sell it. That's the definition of it's happening. Your possessions are being liquidated.
And if you try to leave, they tax you.
They're going to have to build a wall like East Germany to keep people in at some point.
To bleed us.
Holly and Hudson.
Hey, good morning, you two. I don't think you realize the box you put women in this morning. Like, should we call in during the suburban women section? Should we wait and find out if John's going to talk about his luscious lemon shanks? I mean, it's such a conundrum out here. When do I call in? But this is what really blows my skirt up, talking about the fall of the Illinois GOP. So on election night, 2016, I heard Pat Brady, the only Brady to lose a downstate race. Do you know how difficult that is to begin with? But anyway, I heard him say, they don't need you, Dan, and they don't need anybody who follows you because they got this.
They got it.
Then, said it again?
Yep, they got it. So then I heard him follow up with your debate with the City Chicago Club, where they're just happy to relive their past victories and a high five about how 9 years ago something went their way. So as long as they're just happy to pat themselves on the back for that victory 9-10 years ago, we're going nowhere fast, except for me and my family. We are going fast because I am sitting in my car in St. Louis, Missouri, where we're moving, because we got to get out while we can get something for our home.
Thanks for the call, Holly.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, I'm Tom Sadeka, President and CEO of Precision Payroll of America. We're the 35-year-old company whose first employee and first client are still working together. We have so many wonderful clients, but with me today is someone very special.
Hi, I'm Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA. We are a nonprofit student organization battling the bias and indoctrination in America's high schools and colleges every day. We are on over 1,000 campuses and continue to grow. Precision Payroll has been there since day one and has helped us immensely as we grew to a truly national organization. No one in the business is better than Precision Payroll. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Charlie. What you're doing is so important. To learn more and help, go to tpusa.com. That's tpusa.com.
And for your business, let Precision Payroll make a difference for you. Call Tom at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507 or online at precisionpayroll.com.
Thank you, Charlie.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I'm definitely feeling better because now that I'm feeling better, I have more energy to be able to do more things. Before I was in severe pain with my back, and I really couldn't function without taking an ibuprofen, and I haven't had to do that.
The first day energy level was up by about 30%. Stamina was probably up 40%. Alertness was probably 20-25%. Afternoons, I'd get groggy, doggy. Just in 2 days, that is gone.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Get ready to make Range Day more awesome. Here's the perfect gift for the gun owner on your list or for yourself, a Hackett Equipment Range backpack. The Hackett Equipment Range backpack comes in 3 styles of covert quality range backpacks that hold 2 to 4 pistols and carry a lifetime warranty. There's also an attachable rifle bag, tactical shooting glasses, all at affordable prices. You can even join the Hackett Equipment Army with a Hackett Equipment Pocket Pistol t-shirt. Hackett Equipment is a Chicago-based company that shares your values, and they'd like to share a smoking hot discount just for AM 560 listeners. Get 20% off all Hackett Equipment online products for a limited time with promo code AM 560. Plus, all orders over $100 receive free shipping on top of your 20% discount. Make trips to the shooting range easier and more fun by taking everything you need for a day at the range hands-free. Visit gunrangebags.com and see for yourself why Hackett Equipment bags have endless 5-star reviews. Have a blast at the shooting range and save 20% plus free shipping on orders over $100 with promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth, now heard regularly in 18 countries. What percentage of you listening to this commercial often say to yourself, what could I do to make more money, or how can we increase our business? I'm guessing that's most of you. Have you ever heard knock on the door and it'll open? Well, my friends at Income Store have doors you can open that can help you or your family make more money, or doors that lead to an increase in revenue for any business of any size. Income Store has 2 main doors on their website. These doors lead to over 2,000 revenue-generating ideas and products. Although a few of their products are pricey, 90+% of their growth formulas are delivered free or nearly free. Income Store's growth products and ideas have been publicized and featured on Forbes, Inc., USA Today, and recently the Biography Channel. Could your household or business use a revenue shot in the backside? Are you sick of your checkbook talking back and saying no? If so, you need to knock on the doors of IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and John Casson for Amy J this morning. We'll button up our discussion of Illinois and Indiana at 8:38 and then switch over to a place that's actually competitive, the state of Florida, and the status of that recount, particularly with emphasis on Broward County. But now we check the headlines with Mike Scott.
Fair skies, 31 degrees. Death toll rising in California as massive wildfires there rage in that state. The death toll currently at 31 in Southern California. The Woolsey fire has claimed the lives of 2 in the north. Nurse Nicole Jolly of Paradise says she was nearly among the deceased there.
Our cars were bubbling. The paint was melting off. The lights in front of me, on the vehicle in front of me, they were melting. And I called my husband, and I'm crying hysterically, and I said, Nick, I'm going to die. I can't get out of my car. It's on fire.
She was eventually rescued by firefighters. The Camp Fire has killed 29. Republican Florida Governor Rick Scott said his Senate challenger, Democrat Bill Nelson, is a sore loser and is trying to commit fraud to win that election. Cesar Sayoc is in federal court today in New York City for a pretrial hearing. He's accused of mailing pipe bombs to more than a dozen of President Trump's critics. An Australian woman is being charged with sticking needles into strawberries, leading to fear and panic in that country for more than a month. The 50-year-old worked at a farm in Queensland. She faces up to 10 years behind bars if convicted. That scare kicked off in late September. An investigation is underway here after a security guard was shot and killed by a Midlothian police officer at a bar in Robbins. It happened yesterday while officers were responding to a report of shots fired at Manny's Blue Room on South Clare Boulevard. Authorities believe a woman's body found on a beach near Highland Park may be that of an Elgin woman who disappeared while swimming in Lake Michigan earlier this month. Body was discovered on a beach in the Fort Sheridan Forest Preserve. The discovery made a few miles north of the Highland Park boat ramp where Lena Lamesh was last seen with other members of her cold water swimming group. Bears over the Lions, 34-22 at Soldier Field. Blackhawks looking to end a 7-game skid. They take on Carolina tonight. Bulls hosting the Mavericks. And the news is a service of Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. There's nothing like Eggland's Best eggs. More of the farm fresh taste you love. Superior nutrition, too. For your family, only the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains the left's ideal situation.
Remember Nancy Pelosi? Didn't she say that once, where we could sit back and write poetry and compose music? This is the ideal, that somehow you will be fed, clothed, and housed without actually doing anything. It's character destroying, socialism.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Where has the year gone? It seems like the holidays always sneak up on us so fast. Most retailers do their shopping in the first quarter of the year, but there are some exceptions. Fox Valley Coins in Naperville is gearing up now for the biggest season of the year. They want to buy before Christmas. Fox Valley Coins is one of the largest rare coin dealers in the entire Midwest. The sales of precious metals and rare coins and currency has been very brisk this year, so now they're on a huge buying spree. Fox Valley Coins buy all forms of gold and silver bars, coins, and jewelry, and they specialize in the rare and collector coins and currency. Find Fox Valley Coins on Route 59 in Ferry, just north of I-88 at the Naperville-Warrenville border. They'll make house calls to your home or bank on larger collections in November. FoxValleyCoins.com. Sure, they'll buy after Christmas, but they're stocking their shelves now. Get to Fox Valley Coins on Route 59 in Ferry in Naperville or online, FoxValleyCoins.com. FoxValleyCoins.com. Dealers since 1981.
Looking to secure financing on a new home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Stephanie, account manager, contacted her credit union to get pre-qualified for a mortgage. Bad move. The credit union's alleged mortgage expert informed Stephanie she couldn't purchase a home without a cosigner. Wrong. Stephanie's grandfather would cosign, but she wanted to do it herself. After hearing hundreds of our ads, Stephanie called for a free consultation. An experienced Team Hochberg mortgage professional answered Stephanie's questions and helped her secure a mortgage without a cosigner. Let's review. The inexperienced mortgage professional at Stephanie's credit union stated she needed a cosigner to purchase a home, and Team Hochberg secured her a mortgage without a cosigner. When securing a mortgage, you could either get terrible advice at your credit union, or you could call Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Check out the newest podcast from the Associated Press, Ground Game, hosted by AP's Megan Crane. A weekly conversation about top political issues around the midterm elections. Available on Apple Podcasts.
8:37. Let's check our roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
The northbound tri-state has big delays this morning from Roosevelt to Balmoral and Dempster before Lake Avenue. Eastbound Reagan Tollway stop and go Washington 355, crash to the right shoulder. On the Veterans Memorial, it's Veterans Day. Southbound it's heavy, St. Charles to 22nd. Northbound Butterfield to St. Charles. The Edens runs 19 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 33 after a crash at Skokie Road. Kennedy, 30 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 16 from Montrose, 23 in the Express, outbound 39 minutes to the airport. Eisenhower, 40 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 38. Stevenson, 43 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36. Ryan is 20 minutes, 95th to downtown, Northwest Indiana's fine. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Cloudy and cold, high 35. Cloudy and colder overnight, low 19. And clouds and sun tomorrow, a high of 30. Currently 31. Next news at 9. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Make sure to check out the Income Store live video stream of today's show right now at 560theanswer.com.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and John Cass in for Amy J this morning. And we were talking about Indiana Democrats and Illinois Republicans. You can have the same conversation about both. It's just Illinois Republicans are probably closer to extinction. And the results in Illinois continue to file in. I mean, these results of people and industry leaving. AbbVie, drug maker that's based in North Chicago and Lake County, is leasing 500,000 square feet for a new R&D hub. Not here.
Where?
San Francisco.
Oh.
Yeah, San Francisco. So the brain drain that's been going on in Illinois, associated with the shrinking of our economic base and the flight of productive families will continue.
And the fact that my kids feel that, and probably a lot of people's kids feel that their kids they have to leave. I don't want to leave. I don't want to have gangsters run me out. But I can see the boys wanting to go. My boys talking about Texas, and I'm thinking Texas is a long way away from me.
Quick flight.
You know, when families come and kids come, you want to be able to be around.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's why.
And that's why, you know.
That's why the Exodus is such an indictment, because it's not so easy to leave.
I just wish that that the moderates, as you know, whatever they're called, the establishmentarianismists, like Pat Brady, who I like, and you, who I like, could get together and create something. Because if you don't, I see hordes, Balkan hordes.
Yeah.
With our dogs and our mules and our goods on sticks wrapped in blankets.
Just recapping, lost 6, soon to be 7 state house seats. Super minority. Lost 2, soon to be 3 Senate seats. Super minority. The Senate Republicans could have their caucus meetings in a telephone booth if they still existed. Most number of legislative Democrats in the history of Illinois since it was incorporated in 1818, against the backdrop of 40 years of Madigan lordship.
And you know that Madigan's reaching out. He's got his candidate in Chicago. He and Rahm Emanuel have created a child, Susanna Mendoza, that's their political daughter.
More of the same in Chicago. Why not?
She'll run things. She'll get the buzz, the media buzz.
Why not? Lake County Board, gone. Hat tip to that wonderful chairman up there, Mark Shaw, another surrender Republican snake. Will County, gone. DuPage County, majority of seats on the county board that were up to Democrats, losing a countywide official, the clerk. Frankly, Dan Cronin and other Republicans barely hanging on at the county level. In addition
they want
to
to blame Trump. They want an easy thing. They want to say, "Oh, Trump."
Right.
Women. But they're not offering any counter programming.
Also, by the way, they weren't in a majority position going into this cycle or going into 2016.
Right.
They have no historical context, because historical context would impugn their arguments and indict their tenure. This has been a super minority party getting its ass handed to him for most of the 25 years I've been involved, certainly this century, for sure. Right. And the same people, reshuffling the same people, doing the same things. This is kabuki theater. This isn't political competition, competing visions, or actually even competitive campaigns. Okay? And falling in love with that.
I've only been writing this for 30 years.
Well, no kidding. I know. And falling in love with the blank checkbook or the next blank checkbook to come around doesn't work.
Pritzker? Yeah.
Mike in Munster, Indiana, perhaps he can provide some insights.
Good morning, gentlemen, and God bless you both.
Thank you.
My question is, and all I have is a question this morning, is, you know, our speaker, Uncle Screwtape, is clearly a smart man, and he's got to see where this is all leading. And I need to understand, because I can't, what is the end game? What is the final outcome that he is cramming down Wormwood's throat? Because I can't get it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks for the call, Mike.
He rubs his bony fingers together high on the top of his castle wall, wherever his castle is in Ireland, and looks down and is master of all he surveys. It's not Illinois. His family's going to walk, and they'll all have money, and we won't.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Folks, when shopping for a home mortgage, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from one of our customers.
We have a 40-year-old daughter with metastatic stage 4 breast cancer, and the reason we needed to refinance is so we can help her. Zach said, yeah, we can do something, and believe me, he's my hero right now. He took enough money out to pay all my taxes, my insurances, everything is now escrowed. I love what he did, and didn't change any of the terms that he said to begin with. Your competitor was like a bad car salesman. Phenomenal job, Zach.
Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida. NMLS 136639. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
All right, if your roof's needy, you can call Crumweedy. Hey, Sean Hannity here. If your roof is leaky, if the shingles are curling, or if your roof isn't right after storms, then you need to call Crumweedy with roofing companies, and the difference is, of course, installation. Now, Crumweedy, they know that, and that's why they follow the manufacturer's specifications, so your warranty is totally intact, and many companies don't do that, and that could void your warranty. If you hate high-pressure sales tactics, not from Crumweedy. They give you good, better, best options. You make the choice, no pressure. Crumweedy is a roof that lasts at a fair price. Now, Mark Olson and Greg Olson of Crumweedy, they lead this third-generation family business that's been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953. Now, they fix roof problems, so if your roof is needy, call Crumweedy. That's 630-595-8020. That's 630-595-8020. They're online, of course, at myroofisneedy.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I had cancer. I have fibromyalgia. I have nerve damage and fatigue. I have thalassemia. I'm hypoglycemic. So my life since cancer, I've had to learn how to live with it. But starting Balance of Nature, I felt that the first month I felt different. It made such a difference that now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
For a limited time, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey, Mom. The funeral home called. They want their drapes back.
Oh, you're a funny one. What are you trying to say?
I love your home, but I think you need to update this house. It's time.
I would love that, but I just don't have time to be traipsing all over Chicagoland looking for new window treatments.
Let's call them window coverings, and I have just a solution. Call 1-800-4BLIND-CHICAGO. They bring the store to you.
Give your home an easy and affordable makeover. 1-800-4BLIND-CHICAGO knows window coverings. They know blinds, shades, shutters, and precise installation. But they really know how to make your family home a comfortable place and for a lot less than you'd expect for custom window coverings. New blinds or shades can help with heat reduction, privacy, and make you fall in love with your home all over again. With an in-house installation crew, you can count on a personal touch and quality custom blinds with 1-800-4BLIND-CHICAGO. Connect directly at 1-800-4BLINDCHICAGO.com. That's 1-800-4BLINDSCHICAGO.com.
Here's another Turnkey IT happy client.
Hi, this is Joe from Packaging Personified. We're a manufacturer of flexible packaging located in Carroll Stream, Illinois, and also just north of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Packaging Personified manufactures flexible packaging for the food industry and multiple other industries. We happen to be a 24-hour operation running 7 days a week, so we rely on our IT to be 100% solid. We were having a challenging time trying to get our infrastructure to be reliable. This is a problem we've had for some time, and we had gone to other providers and did not have the success we were hoping for. And that's when we found Turnkey IT. We're still in the process of expanding our network to support additional changes that we're making as we grow the business. And with Turnkey IT on our side, we can focus on our business, which is making packaging.
Your business can have great success too, with a full-time IT staff starting at $7.95 a month. From Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and John Cash, Chicago Tribune columnist, in for Amy J. this morning. And President Trump memorializing fallen American and French patriots on Veterans Day at Suresnes. President Trump said this about American warriors.
Each of these marble crosses and stars of David marks the life of an American warrior. Great, great warriors they are, who gave everything for family, country, God, and freedom. Through rain, hail, snow, mud, poisonous gas, bullets, and mortar, they held the line and pushed onward to victory.
So in modern times, you think the least we could do is get our men and women in theater some pizza. How about that? Some good Chicago pizza. And we're pleased to be joined now by Kent Evans, Pizza for Patriots. Now, we normally, and in the past many times, have had Kent's father, Sergeant Mark Evans, on the show. You'll remember we talked about it on the show when it occurred. Sergeant Mark Evans, unfortunately and unexpectedly passed away last year. But Pizza for Patriots continues. Kent, his son, has taken up the cause, and we're pleased to be joined by Kent Evans, Pizza for Patriots. That's sergeantpizza.org, the website. Kent, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me this morning. How are you guys doing today?
Very good. I know from Mark was always great about the stats and telling us all the details of getting pizza to troops and what that meant for them. It's just sort of, the taste of home, literally. 160 in the history of Pizza for Patriots, 165,000 pizzas shipped overseas, more than 1.35 million military personnel served. It's quite an accomplishment. And how are you building upon the legacy that your father started?
First and foremost, if you're listening to this morning, I just want to take a couple of seconds to have a moment of silence for our veterans and those who died in the California Thousand Oaks shooting. So I would like to do that really quick. So here we go. And so we've shipped 700 pizzas so far nationwide. That's 49 veterans hospitals. We've served roughly 1,500 men at the hospitals. I had the opportunity to go to an event yesterday, and the troops just love it. Our veterans love it. And, I would really like to do more of this. I feel that we have a lack of care here in the United States towards our veterans, and there's a lot anyone can do. I work a full-time job, and I do this in my free time, and it takes a lot, but we do it. We're getting it done, and we're carrying on my dad's legacy.
And with respect to just give us some of the partners. You couldn't do this without people who are similarly inclined to be generous of their time and resources. So some of the pizza partners that make this happen.
Oh, of course. We use whatever pizza place is closest to veterans hospitals, but we couldn't do it. We really couldn't do it without the people in the United States. We get donations from all over, and people just love being a part in it. And I think we could do a lot more than we're doing. it takes a group effort, as you will. People in the U.S. could help out so much, and they do. But we would just like to really up this thing. We started an elementary school campaign where kids at elementary schools can write cards, and we ship those to the hospitals along with the pizzas. And I think that's a great program as well. But I really think we need to address this mental health issue here. There's not a lot being done for our vets, and it's sad that our vets come home. They don't have the support that they would like. I got in an Uber the other day, and I had an old Vietnam vet in the car, and I saw he had a Marine Corps sticker, and I asked him about that, and he told me that people get in his car and they're offended that he's got his Marine Corps sticker on the dash. And this is a man that went to Vietnam when he was 17 years old and nearly died for our country. And I just think that that's kind of sick that people feel that way about a sticker.
You should kick him out of the car. Just say, get out.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
you see an old Marine sticker on his dash, and you're going to tell him that you don't feel right about that? I mean, come on. But, I mean, in America, we're enjoying the fruits of the labor of our veterans, and they put everything on the line, and they're just not getting the respect they deserve. I mean, I think it's a complete tragedy when I tell people that over 20 veterans a day commit suicide, and I hate touching on these topics, but something like when we serve them pizza, you just see their eyes light up. They love it. They feel that we're doing something good for them. They can sit down and have a meal with their brothers in arms. I went to the VFW here in town yesterday for our event there, and you can just see how much camaraderie is when we have these sorts of events. And I think we need to do more of them. You don't see young guys in the VFWs anymore, and that's really what got them through their experiences in combat.
Well, it's sort of what you say. You're implying there's so many people are disconnected from people who serve in the military, and so there's not an appreciation for their service and sacrifice. And so when you at Pizza for Patriots and other organizations do what you do, it reminds, I think, those servicemen and women that there are people who care. There are people that are thinking about them and want to do things for them and want to keep them engaged and thank them for everything that they've done.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. And that's how my dad always raised me. He raised me to do whatever you want, don't care what people think, and just get it done. And we're doing a great job here, but we can always use more help. Anyone can give me a call anytime at 847-357-0000 or go on our website and, we can all help out.
All right. He is Kent Evans, the son of Sergeant Mark Evans, who we missed terribly. He was such a trip and started this great organization, Pizza for Patriots, which you're carrying on the work, and we appreciate and respect the job that you're doing. Sergeant Pizza, sjtpizza.org, sergeantpizza.org, and you heard the number 847-357-0000. Kent Evans, Pizza for Patriots. Kent, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And you joined us on the Turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Have you ever been concerned that you might have high cholesterol? Did you know that high cholesterol is a key risk factor for heart disease? We are conducting a national research study that will examine a cholesterol-lowering medicine that could become available over the counter. If you are concerned you may have high cholesterol, you may qualify for this study. Take our online assessment at www.heartriskstudy.com to see if you qualify. Again, please visit www.heartriskstudy.com to see if you qualify.
Where has the year gone? It seems like the holidays always sneak up on us so fast. Most retailers do their shopping in the first quarter of the year, but there are some exceptions. Fox Valley Coins in Naperville is gearing up now for the biggest season of the year. They want to buy it before Christmas. Fox Valley Coins is one of the largest rare coin dealers in the entire Midwest. The sales of precious metals and rare coins and currency has been very brisk this year, so now they're on a huge buying spree. Fox Valley Coins buy all forms of gold and silver bars, coins, and jewelry, and they specialize in the rare and collector coins and currency. Find Fox Valley Coins on Route 59 in Ferry, just north of I-88 at the Naperville-Warrenville border. They'll make house calls to your home or bank on larger collections in November. FoxValleyCoins.com. Sure, they'll buy after Christmas, but they're stocking their shelves now. Get to Fox Valley Coins on Route 59 and Ferry in Naperville or online, FoxValleyCoins.com. FoxValleyCoins.com. Dealers since 1981.
AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago Tribune columnist John Kass, thank you so much for sitting in for Amy again today. Appreciate it. Always fun.
And remember, lest we forget, Colonel John McCrae, look him up. He wrote a poem years ago. He might be
in Flanders Field. Now we check the headlines with Mike Scott.
The wife of a metro worker killed in an explosion. WIND Chicago News Time.
It's the most destructive wildfire in California.